Welcome to Min to Max 20. Tonight we'll be continuing our Through the Frost Trail arc. So yeah, tonight we'll be picking up where we left off, which I'll be overviewing here shortly. However,
everything's bad.
Everything is not positive vibes.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're all good to go. So might as well start the Actually, let me change the music here. Let me change the music. That's what I was gonna do.
At least good song music for the clan you genocided.
Who? I didn't do anything. As far as I'm concerned, I saved them. I saved them by giving them you.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It did not
Killed
work.
your children.
Let me go ahead and make sure everything's
So did my
going.
bones, man. The first I was like, oh.
Alright. I'm gonna put the die to the test, see what the die for the night's gonna be. Start.
I'm still muted. There we go. See? I'm learning. So, oh, Todd's gone. Well, yeah. First, I guess one of the announcements is since I might as well, since we're not doing anything else, is we do have merchandise in the store.
Yeah.
Plug. It's pretty nice. The one.
I just ordered one.
Oh,
Is it a plug if you're plugging your own shit?
Yeah.
I'm plugging it into my. Yes, I think so. If not, let me adjust this actually a little bit.
You got Min to Max 20 shot glasses.
Hey, that'd be kind of lit though.
Engraved battle axes.
Yeah, we actually all those helmets you see. The helmet you see, on Sir Denrick is actually. I'm not gonna say that because it's not true, but.
I was gonna say it's like how much you gonna say here, bud?
All right, well let's get into this. Fuck it. All right, let us delve. Oh, I didn't even. Oh my gosh, boys, I didn't even set my shit up. I think I'm ready, and then I'm just not Squidward. All right, we'll call it good.
Yeah. It's okay, baby. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Alright, let's cut the shit out of that. We're good.
Hey, yo. Okay. So to overcaply this review, on day 2, I'm not gonna recap as much as I have before. We're gonna do on day 2. The end of the party ended up meeting what looked to be an injured Goliath that was named of the name of Korzak. Korzak was a Goliath of the clan, the Grey Wolf Marauders, and he informed that he informed the party that the rest of his clan members were at the ruins that were located just down the path, about another handful of miles or so. And upon with this knowledge, you guys continued your way down to the path, and eventually made your way to these ruins. Upon making your way kind of towards where the space opened up, the Goliath clan that he had mentioned was standing, kind of cutting you off from the path. However, they called over Korzak. They kind of had a little bit of a discussion, and then with the party kind of talking to the group, Garmal being the leader, you guys kind of came to an agreement, kind of a little bit of a common ground as you then kind of melded into one collective group. You all making your way into this space, occupying some of it with your tents and your mounts, and then eventually sitting down for a meal with Garmal and some of his clansmen. The plan for the rest of that evening was to go over to the ruins and investigate a little bit, kind of do a little bit of searching around, just to get an idea as to what potentially might be done the following day. However, while investigating the ruins and trying to get an idea as to what could be kind of understood about this structure, a group of Remorads, 2 adult, 2 young, burst forth from the ground, 2 within the actual ruins compound, 2 on the exterior camp, and just started to lay waste to the party and the group itself. Party managed to stay together, though there was some close calls amongst a couple various party members, Murillo and Virden specifically. And sadly, a handful of the Goliaths did perish in the fight. However, thankfully, you guys were able to fight them back. 3 of the 4 retreating. The one that Sir Denrick basically 1v1 did end up getting slain in the process. and we ended last session with y'all kind of scattered across this space, all kind of tending to different things. However, I will dial it back just a little bit, considering I kind of want to get each individual portion of this, the time I feel like it deserves. So I will ask. I'm pretty sure Zahir, you said you did healing hands on the druid over at the at the camp, right? Okay, so you can go ahead and have that back. If you want to use it later, you can. But we're gonna kind of back it up just a little bit so that we can kind of go through each individual portion here.
Okay.
So, as we'll go ahead and start with Sir Denric. Sir Denric, having just tried to ask Garmal a question as he kind of pushed through and exited the ruins and headed towards his kind of portion of camp off to the left-hand side, where the young Remoraz ended up grabbing those two bodies and then bolted off into the woods. You saw him kind of storm off. You kind of stand there about 5-10 feet in front of the ruins, and you mentioned that you wanted to turn around and go investigate the Remoraz body, correct?
Oh, yes.
All right. So as you make your way back into the ruins kind of space, the snow continuing to lightly fall, the cold kind of wind kind of cutting through at this point, this now kind of quiet space as the trees kind of some of the snow coming off the trees kind of in a flurry and kind of a cloud of dust, kind of a light dusting. And as you make your way back into the pathway, kind of walking towards this body, you do see Favior, the druid that was with you with the fight within the ruins. Kind of, you see that he's kind of leaning heavily onto his quarterstaff as he slowly makes his way, trudging across from where he was tending to Garmal as you all exited the space. As he continues to kind of, at this point, he's probably about almost in line, about like 10 feet to the right, almost in line with the Remoraz bodies. He continues to kind of make his way. Thankfully, he looks relatively unscathed. However, you can see that there is sweat kind of pouring from his forehead and kind of running down the sides of his face as he's walking over, as you're kind of making your way this way. If there's anything that you'd like to do specifically.
He's looking at the body, right?
No, he's kind of just walking towards the entrance. Like his pathing is looking like it's going to go towards the entrance.
Okay, I guess I'll approach him.
Okay, so as you make your way over to him, you can hear now as you're a little closer, you can hear like the kind of like grasping kind of breaths he's making as he. Oh, yes. As you make your way up and you step in front of him, your armor at this point has now cooled at least a bit. It's starting to the bright orange glow of your armor is now kind of starting to recede. What would you like to do or say?
Favior.
He stops.
It is very unfortunate what happened today. I'm sure it doesn't need to be said, but you have my condolences for your people.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, it is an unfortunate day indeed. The Earth Mother did not smile upon us this day. I don't know, I don't necessarily know exactly. I mean, we did have a larger group here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what drew these creatures in. However, he kind of looks up, kind of thinking, looking up. I don't think that we've ever had this many kind of collectively attack us, so that was a strange occurrence. But I will say, I appreciate your condolences, and I do appreciate your assistance in repelling those creatures. And as he looks over to the dead body, I did see that you were, for the most part, took on that one by yourself, which he kind of takes one of his hands off the staff and kind of gestures it towards you. I commend you. That was a very strong feat. I don't know of very many individuals in our clan that could have done something such as that. So he kind of nods. You have my respect.
Do you mind if I know it will probably be a time of mourning, but do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
He kind of like looks kind of past you. Well, seeing as Garmal has rushed off, I mean, I can always catch up with him in a bit. Yes, Except for at this point, he kind of starts to cut to his right, your left, kind of making his way towards the steps of the building that Virden actually entered in and kind of started this whole confrontation. And he kind of walks over, kind of using his quarterstaff, kind of sits himself down on the steps that lead up into this building, and kind of he kind of rests his quarterstaff now on his lap. Yes, I do not mind. What can I help you with?
Do the Remoras normally return? Have you ever encountered them returning? I guess you've encountered them before, I assume.
Yes, we have encountered them before. It was like I mentioned earlier, not this many. Usually it might be an adult and a young, or maybe just an adult or maybe a couple of young, but never in this kind of size, which is strange, to say the least. But for them returning, I don't necessarily think that it would be the best idea, considering that we repelled them pretty heavily. But, I mean, wild creatures act strangely at times. But, I wouldn't see any reason why they would. We gave them quite the beating. And, I mean, only the Earth Mother would know, I suppose.
I think that may be true. Have you ever been to these ruins before? They're a strange place.
He kind of scratches his kind of long, kind of black, kind of braided hair. Kind of scratches the scalp, shaved at the sides, but kind of the top portion kind of falls back behind his head. We have. We don't necessarily stick around too long, but we have been here. We have in the earlier days. We have tried to scavenge anything that might have been beneficial, but it appears that they've been picked clean for some time. So, I mean, but we've never actually been inside.
But you've approached the tower before.
Yes, we have. We remember earlier earlier when we were all eating the meal together. I mentioned that there was that statue that was odd with the water running. Yeah, we've investigated. We saw the statue, and obviously it is quite the rare occurrence for such water to be running in this cold of temperature. But I mean, there seems to be a barrier of sorts on the front door and on the other tower as well. We cannot even actually physically make contact with the door. So there must be strange magics or something at work to repel anyone that's not welcome.
Do you think that could have had something to do with the Remoras? Some sort of...
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily that it would be connected, but it could be, very well. I mean, I am more of a nature-guided spell weaver of sorts, and so this seems to be, as you kind of looks over to the left, kind of up to the structure itself, this seems to be more in the realm of celestial kind of understanding. At least from what I mean, your friend there, that's what he said anyway, right? Celestial was the verbiage that was on the arch entering in. So
yeah,
I mean
he did some investigating of some of the fallen stones of the entryway.
Yes. So I would assume, I mean, that's more than we've ever come to find in our times. We never really gathered or spent time here. So, but I have a feeling, that with the recent interactions, I don't feel like we'll be sticking around much longer.
But that's the reason you came, right?
It is, but a feeling that blizzard will probably be striking the next couple of days, So I feel like with the recent losses to our clan, we probably won't be sticking around to be held up here.
Maybe for the best. Guess we should get back to camp.
Oh yes. Once again, very well, really very well fought. And I mean, I don't know what occurs in your culture, but that's kill. Now remember, Raz, is yours. It's your prize. So take from it what you see fit. It's not every day. I'm sure that's not something that's necessarily occurs frequently from where you're from. So as he
Thankfully not.
stands himself up to the feet, kind of using his quarterstaff, I will see to Garmal's emotions as he then starts to make his way towards the entrance. And I will say, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna look back up kind of towards the tower. Kind of look at it. Can I roll perception?
As you're looking up at it, we'll go ahead and move on to the next kind of portion of people.
Okay.
Zahir, you were at the entrance a little bit farther than Sir Denric was. You're probably about 20, 25 feet in front of the archway leading into the ruins. What would you like to do?
I will still be like going through everywhere that I saw people or where people were fighting and seeing if anyone's still alive that needs healing.
Okay, so are you going to go to the left camp where Garmal just stormed to, or are you going to go to the right camp?
Whatever's closest. You know, can I like hear, see anything?
Make a perception check.
All right. 18.
18. So immediately you do hear two individuals kind of behind you, as one of the archers and one of the melee axe wielding Goliaths. They do end up kind of making contact behind like each other. You look back and you see them kind of walk up to each other, and you see the archer kind of adorned, kind of wielding his longbow. Hold on, I need to pull up my notes here. All right, it would be. So you see the Goliath with the kind of like the like half kind of mantle of the animal head, the animal half head. You see that kind of resembles what looks to be like a large kind of bear skull, as the cowl kind of goes like kind of hangs on his shoulders and kind of connects the rest of his equipment. As the Goliath, who is standing kind of behind the Remoraz, the adult one, kind of chucking his javelins and kind of keeping his distance. They both kind of meet up, and you can see the one with the bow, the archer. He's like, "Oh, brother, it is good to see that you survived the confrontation." You see that they kind of embrace one another, and they kind of pull back. And then the one with the axe kind of axe at his side. "Oh yes, thankfully I did not get so close to the creature, but sadly." It appears that as he looks out to the other kind of groupings or other camps, kind of, fortunately, it didn't seem like the rest or other members of our clan made it. And he's the archer kind of, yeah. They both at this point now are kind of facing towards the camps. Yeah. They both like an air of silence kind of falls upon them and.
I'll approach.
Okay, you kind of walk back to both of them. They both make eye contact with you.
Are you both doing fine?
The one wielding the axe, you can see has some kind of heavier furs. You can see it looks to be like a patchwork of kind of brown furs across his body. You can see that the axe head that he has wielded at the side kind of comes up and then back down, and it doesn't have like a full double head kind of going up and down, but it kind of cuts back and has a little bit of a blade to it underneath. You can see that there's a couple things kind of hanging off of it. It's got a long dark wooded shaft attached to. You can see. No, actually, I was thankfully was a little bit farther back on the adult that was kind of holding us up in there, and so I did not sustain thankfully any injuries. As he then looks over to his brother, who has the bear cow. No, yeah, I'm fine as well. Thankfully, as he kind of pulls up the bow in front of him. Thankfully, I was at a distance as well, but we should probably make our way to camp and see if there's anything we can do to help anyone that might be injured.
Yes, we should, and I will turn to do just that.
Okay, are you guys going to the left or the right? The left camp was the one where the young Remoraz bit the head off that dude and then drug the corpse away. So if you want to make your way over there,
yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick run through, see if there's anyone still coughing up blood, breathing.
Okay, so as you make your way,
dead as hell.
I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. As you all three kind of make your way over to the left-hand camp, you do see that in the snow itself, there's a large kind of pool of blood, and you can see the blood trail kind of smeared in not an exactly straight line, as it was smeared kind of back towards deeper to where the actual tents were set up. And as you kind of follow that towards this other camp, you can see the large pool of blood where a secondary body that's kind of in between where Garmal's tent is in the tent kind of to the right of it, kind of in that 5-foot spacing. You see a large pool of blood, and it kind of continues deeper into the woods, into the wooded area itself. And as you're kind of walking over to make your way to see if there's any individuals you could help, you do hear a cry out kind of about probably 40-50 feet kind of where the blood trail follows and goes deeper into the woods. You hear a yell reverberate from kind of in the woods itself. And I'd say
I will this sounds like one of the Goliaths is over there.
Yeah, with your passive perception, you kind of look and you kind of look between the trees. You see Garmal kind of 50-60 feet off into the tree line. Kind of his you see that, you can see him kind of looking up with his gray hammer off to his side. Even from here, you can see his large frame kind of shifting from the inhaling, exhaling of breath.
I'll run over there.
Okay, hold on one sec. I gotta switch this music. Let's see.
You just sprint up to him and stop immediately.
So as you go ahead and run over there, they're not enough to keep you in place, but you do feel a hand kind of grasp at you. And as you kind of look back to see, you see that and you know that his name is Kazagarin. He was one of the ones that Garmal specifically pointed out and had him go to the ruins with you, the one with the axe. He kind of, you can see his hand kind of outstretched as it falls back to his side. I wouldn't recommend that. Garmal seems to be coming to terms with the situation, and I don't want you to come upon his wrath or his ire, accidentally. So I would just give him his space.
I'll tend to him later then.
Probably for the best.
And then I'll continue my search through.
Okay,
of the camps.
Yeah, so as you were looking across this one, you can see that Garmal's tent also could be some of the stakes from where it burst out into the tree line. You can see that his tent is half still half standing. One of the tent to the left of it's kind of toppled over some, still relatively intact, but it's taken a little bit of integrity to its positioning. And then at this point, you kind of look around, but there doesn't seem to be anyone that you can immediately help here, as you then kind of cut through the little thicket that divides these two camps, as you cut your way through, kind of going through the back portion of these tents. Which brings me over to now Morello. Morello, we left off. You had managed to get the reins off Benny and kind of calm him down, and are now standing kind of with the reins in your hand. What would you like to do?
I'd like to just turn around and start heading towards the right side of the camp and where all of the other Whaley and Ox are.
Okay. So as you're making your way over here, I'll go ahead and jump in with Virden as well, since this all is happening simultaneously. We ended with you. You're over there with Axov and Noria, be one of the druids that helped you come back from the brink. as she had just snapped at Axoff, who was making some not so considerate comments about the situation when it comes to the losses of the clan members. At which point Axoff kind of drops one hand off of his crossbow and goes, "I apologize. I did not mean any disrespect, obviously." And at this point, he kind of looks behind you, and then you're over there as well. He looks behind. You can see that there are a couple of the oxen, specifically. You can see Stewart and Weldo both kind of like panicking, kind of like hitting like their horns and their heads against like trees, trying to navigate through this kind of thick clustering of wooded area around you as they're kind of panicking at this point. But they're only like, they haven't gotten very far. They're like 40-50 feet and kind of to your left, kind of back behind your tents, and then kind of down almost towards the pathway that you guys came in on. You can see Stewart kind of freaking out, but they're not very far.
Oh yeah, I think especially with what Axoff said, I'll turn to Axoff at this point and say, perhaps it's best we go get our ox in here and give them a moment to just have a moment before we come back.
I agree.
I turned to her name was Nora.
No, sorry, hold on. Noria.
Noria. I turn to Noria is just like, we're gonna make sure bees don't run off too far, but I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
As he kind of nods.
Is Captain still around, or is it just the two kind of stragglers we have right now?
So Kavkin was one of the only ox to actually stay tethered to the tree itself.
Is he chilling or is he freaking out?
No, he's freaking out. He's still kind of pulling. He's kind of freaking out.
First, I'll walk over to Kavkin and try to calm him down.
Okay, go ahead and
go
ahead and make an animal handling check for me.
Oh, okay. I have no proficiencies, so that's a 14.
14 was the exact DC you needed.
Ooh.
With another success. Nice. Okay. So as you go over, and he's kind of thrashing, and you can see the kind of point of where he's tied off. You can see it could go slack and then taut, as you can hear it kind of. As you can hear the tree kind of creaking and shifting under the weight of this kind of large creature putting strength to it. You do end up coming up, and you kind of have your hands out, and you kind of come up and you speak to him, and eventually he's kind of like turned to the side, frantically looking around. But as you approach, you can see that he starts to kind of settle a little bit, enough to where you're not in harm's way approaching. And you approach and you start to kind of pet him as you can see that from his nostrils the puffs of steam coming out of his nose. But eventually you pat him down and you calm him down. And we will go ahead and go ahead.
Nice. I said cool.
All right, and then we'll have Axoff run over to get his mount as well. Axoff. Animal handling, I want to say, is wisdom, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe so.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna also walk over to Bearden.
Yeah, I would say at this point you come over to that portion of the camp, and as you have gotten Captain kind of calmed, you see Morello walking over with Jenny.
Sorry, I think you mean Lenny.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm pretty sure it's Benny.
Yeah, my bad.
It looks like you took quite a beating, my friend.
Yeah, I jumped over here to try to help out the oxen as best I could, but unfortunately wasn't able to see quite what was here before I headed over. Axoff and I did the best we could, but,
Did we end
wasn't
up
quite enough.
losing one of any of the oxen, or I know
one went down. Best I could tell, it was Sir Denrix. But I mean, just looking around, could I tell reasonably that it was Hero who went down?
Yeah, kind of looking around, you can tell that. I mean, because obviously at first glance, when you're not used to these creatures, It's a little bit hard to tell, but you guys spending time with them, you kind of see different kind of variations in you know in their exterior looks, and you could tell that as you're looking around, you can see that Hero is the one sadly that is no longer here, and you can see the large kind of pool of blood that was immediately splattered onto the ground as it got its throat fucking bit and then drug into the hole as this massive kind of trail of blood. It's kind of almost like 3 or 4 foot wide trail leads into the actual hole that was where the Remoras burst out from, and it leads deeper in.
Gotcha. Well, then in that case, I guess also look at the blood trail and just checking the other ones. I'll say, yeah, I believe it was Sir. We're down Sir Denrick's ox, but considering we fared a lot better than the rest of the village here,
I know.
rest of the clan, I should say.
I see as I've gotten over here that they suffered a similar years they did in the ruin.
Did you guys do well in the ruins? How is everybody?
Everybody is, as far as I know, alive. I have yet to see Sir Denrick, but he was doing okay last I saw him, just very toasty.
Yes,
but
that's good to hear.
I have a little bit of magic left, like match you up.
You know, I think honestly, I'm okay. I was getting thrashed for a little bit there, but one of the druid over there patched me up to where I'm at now, and I think does save our magic in case something else comes up throughout the day.
Which I will say, as you say that, you do notice that the sun is definitely starting to fade over the horizon. It is starting to get kind of low, kind of dimmer light around underneath the canopies of these trees. Kind of the cold setting in a little bit more as the sun gets distant. At which point now Axoff does kind of walk over with Weldo as he comes over. Well, go ahead.
Well, so is there still one more ox running around?
Yeah, there's Stuart. He's running around.
Yeah, Stuart's out.
He's getting his shit. He's
God.
figuring his shit out. As Axel comes back, do either of you want to go ahead? And as he points over, and you can see at this point, Stuart has broken through kind of where he was like kind of trapped within the trees, has made it onto the frost trail portion is now like just moving down towards the other side to down the path, kind of where you guys came from.
Come over to here yet?
I would say probably about now you'd be kind of making your way through the thicket and coming over to this side of the group. As you're making your way through the kind of the dividing kind of tree section here, you do see that let's see. You do see you do kind of you see that there is 2 female Goliaths, one also brandishing a battle axe. You can see that her hair is kind of coming in on the sides. However, she has shaved kind of like different insignias and their designs onto the side portions of the hair, and you can see instead of it being kind of multiple braided, it's just one long kind of dark black braid kind of going back to the mid portion of her back. You can see that she obviously is adorned in similar hide equipment as well. Her axe looking a little bit different. Instead of it coming out and going up, you can see it just kind of jets out, cuts back down, and then curves back up and comes back in. A little bit more of a simple kind of Viking-esque looking head of the battle axe. And then the archer Goliath with the kind of the wolf half head on the cowl, kind of white furs adorned over her armor and body. You can see that they're kind of embracing at this space. And make a perception check.
All right. Am I perceiving for injuries?
Yeah. I mean, or actually, let's see. You can perceive for injuries.
What am I perceiving for?
You're just making a perception check, so I can tell you things.
Okay, 20 total.
Yeah. Okay. 20. So as you look over to this, okay. So one sec. Yeah, the one with the battle axe, the one with the single braid kind of coming down the back of her head. You can see that she, even just from here as you're looking over, you're about probably 20, 30 feet away. You can see that she is covered in blood. There, you can see that there's still kind of dark portions of the white kind of furs that are now stained with crimson. And you can see that as you look over and you can see them, they embrace, and then you can see she kind of lets out like a wince as they back up. And the one with the bow kind of, you look like shit. Are you okay? Is there anything that I can help you with? And she's like, I'm fine. She
I'd
kind
like
of
to rush over.
okay as you run over, and so they both kind of look.
Would you like some healing, some help?
And
Anything really.
she's the one that's injured. Kind of, no, it's fine. But the other one protests, and she says, No, he's offering assistance. Just take it. It's fine. And she's fine.
I'll use healing hands for 8 hit points.
8 hit points. Okay, let me go ahead and take that.
And if she's still looking terrible, then I'll use a spell slot.
You can see that as she kind of is holding a bit of her midsection where you can see these large kind of tooth puncture marks are kind of breaking up her armor. You can see she's holding her hand. You can see blood still kind of like dripping, kind of and spreading from the injuries. And as you go up, and your hands kind of glow, and you place them on, you can see she kind of winces. And, her breathing kind of steadies after the magic kind of fades, and you can tell. And she kind of like pats herself, and she looks over at you. It looks like the bleeding stopped. Thanks.
Are you still wounded, still injured?
Yeah, I mean, I could be feeling better, but I think I'll be all right. Go see if there's anyone else that needs help. At which point she's like, come here, as the one kind of drops her bow into the snow, kind of gets up underneath and starts to assist her, kind of over in the general direction of where you were already headed towards the other side of the camp.
Yeah, I'll turn towards. Well, is the next step like stage the oxen?
No, so it's like here's the other camp. Here's like the kind of the middle portion where the trees were that kind of divided it. They were kind of like right here as you guys were all kind of talking amongst the trees. And now you're walking through like the back portions of the tents, now entering into their portion of the camp. And then you'll be getting to your other side.
Okay.
But as you make your way through here, you see at this point, Morello, you said you're running off, right? To get Stuart?
Yeah. You gotta run off to go get Stuart.
Okay, so at this point, you kind of get your ox settled again, and you can see from this side, from this portion, or from where you are, Zahir, you can see Morello kind of running down the path, and you look down, you can kind of hear some disturbance kind of later down the path, but you see Axoff and Virden together, and then you do see one of the druid individuals kind of leaning over next to where the opening is from the hole where the Remoraz kind of burst out. And as you're walking across the camp, kind of making your way over, you can see that she is kneeling kind of on both of her knees, kind of sitting on her heels, kneeling next to both halves of the Goliath that was chomped completely in two. As she kind of just sits there, and you can see her staff kind of resting to her right side.
I would like to know one thing is that I'm still in my starry form this whole time.
Okay. I would say some of the individuals, I guess, retconning, they kind of looked oddly at you, but went about not really bringing attention to it.
Yeah. And I will come up next to what was their name?
You don't know. You didn't hear their name. Virden knows her name because they kind of had an exchange, but
oh yeah, I'll come up by this Goliath and ask, do you need any help?
I would say as you approach, and you can still say that if you'd like to, but you do, with your passive perception being high as it is, you do hear she's just kind of talking, her head down. She's talking under her breath, and it's kind of almost. I would say you could probably discern she's probably doing a burial rite of some sort, or doing at least having this kind of moment with the body. So you can still speak out if you'd like to. but you do hear that kind of under the breath. You don't discern what the words are, but you can hear it.
I guess I'll see if there's perceive for injuries first. Then.
You as you walk up, you do. She also similarly is. You can see there are blood stains kind of across the back portion of her back and her kind of across her kind of robe-like kind of fur armor. You can see large kind of sections that were torn and damaged from the fight. So you do see that she obviously suffered some sort of injury.
I guess as to just not interrupt, then I will I'll like contemplate it, then I'll like move on, but I will use a second level healing word on them.
Okay, go
like,
ahead.
Just add a distance, kind of, just to maintain.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Is it at spell mod?
Yes.
Healing word. Yes. So that is 5, 10, 6, 5, 11, 21 points.
For a second level healing word.
Yeah. Well, because since I'm in my starry form, so I still have the bonus healing.
That's right. Okay.
Nice.
You said 21? Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that. You can see that kind of some of the exposed kind of just like bloody kind of fleshed out portions under that you can see they're exposed from the injuries that she sustained. As you kind of speak out this healing word, your starry form kind of illuminating as this magic kind of transfers over to her. You can see she stops, kind of looks out over to you, kind of seeing where it was cast from, kind of nods her head, kind of goes back to what she was doing. You see a lot of the wounds start to close, and some of the kind of bright red portions of the wounds kind of seem to kind of lessen in their vibrancy.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were doing that, I will say Axoff speaks to you, Virden, as you are now over. He's tying off his ox. I will say it was very valiant of you to throw yourself at the creature as you did, in order to divert attention from our ox.
Well, how many miles are we now from the hold?
Well, honestly, if my estimations are approximate and they're accurate, then we should be about 80 miles or so from Grunthal.
Well, I appreciate the compliment you're trying to pay me, but truthfully, I wasn't going to walk 80 miles back.
He chuckles. Well, honestly, yeah, I mean, neither would I. That would be honestly one of the shittiest, probably shittier than what we've already experienced now at this point. And so I think that's what, I guess, thinking of it like that, it seems a little bit more rational as to what you're doing. And I guess,
Doesn't always have to look rational, but as long as you got a reason behind it. Though I will say, I had really no answer to dealing with one of those things. I could dance around it, I could poke it, but that's about the best I could really do. Those things are fucking tough. So if we come around some in the future, let's not do what we can to get people out of the way, but let's not try to. Maybe they did better from what I heard over at the ruins, but let's not try to dance with those things too much.
Yeah, it seems that over here, a lot of the there's a bloodbath. Obviously, is you kind of have hushed voices, not to have Noria pick up any more unnecessary disrespect. But he does look over, and you can see the
interrupted so many times during her death rites. Just like,
yeah, and even on the other side of these large holes, there's still the two portions at which the Korzak and one of the other Goliaths was consumed by the creature. So he kind of is looking over and looks back to you. Honestly, I don't think the crossbow is working out for me very well. I have not been hitting my shots. If he kind of rubs his neck nervously. He's like, I feel bad. Honestly, I feel like I'm not pulling my weight. And
well, to be fair, he paid us to pull the weight for you, some extent. So, but yeah, when it comes to life or death situations, you got a tool that works better than a crossbow or something
Yeah, I think I'll.
for you.
Well, I think I'll switch to my short sword and my dagger, because I think that this is obviously not helping too much in the conflicts. So maybe I'll switch up the my battle style, and maybe I'll be a little bit more useful going forward.
Maybe we talk it over with Morello and Sir Denric, because we appreciate the help, but also we got to make sure we're keeping you safe, because that's the job.
Well, that is obviously something that I keep in mind as well. Yeah, I mean, not to sound shitty or anything, but obviously I hired you to protect me, and so I feel like if I'm staying kind of back and using the tools that I know how to do, if I actually hit, I usually can do it's quite the amount of damage, but so far it's been far and few between. But regardless, I just wanted to commend you and just honestly say thank you for what you did back there, because if it wasn't you, it's probably going to be me, and I don't feel like I would have been as lucky. So,
Well, maybe let's go check on the others, make sure we get a plan for what we're doing tonight. But maybe we talk more when we have a moment to actually rest properly.
that sounds good to me. At which point, now Zahir, you're walking over.
I'll call out to them. Are any of you or any of the oxen injured at all?
I got roughed up, but I'm doing okay. None of the oxen are technically injured, but we did lose one.
Yeah, I was going to say we did not sadly did not manage to protect all of them. Though Virden gave it his best shot. Which at this point you can see Virden, who is just soaked in blood. Like this man, literally, you can see like parts of his armor is just torn open. You can see that like the midsection kind of at an angle from his right shoulder to like his rib cage, kind of upper left hip area. You can just see large puncture wounds through his midsection, and he is definitely looking much worse for wear. I think you were only healed a handful of hit points, so.
I was healed like an impressive, like it was 14. So I'm at 14 out of 40.
I think she rolled the highest she had. So
Yeah.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I'll walk up and put a hand on Virden and
What was
cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
all right.
So that will be
I like healing. He's the new best healer.
13 plus 10, 23.
Oh shit.
23.
Hey,
Yeah,
shout out
I'm
to
damn near full health then, yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling chipper.
Yeah, I'm at 37 now. Oop.
You immediately jog like a mile.
No.
go.
I feel like I still
Push-ups.
like goes inside the mouth of a fire beast.
Oh, you see.
I wonder why.
Go ahead and roll an animal handling for me there, Morello.
So just sprinting after Stu, please get back in.
Get over here.
That is a 17.
Yep. All right. You kind of call out to him. He doesn't seem to understand what's going on, but then eventually you run up, and as you get closer, kind of turns and kind of like huffs and kind of huffs in your general direction, but you're kind of like easy, and you do manage to get up, kind of calm him down, and then pull the reins back towards camp. At which point, you do see that you see Zahir kind of laying a hand on Virden's chest as you are now kind of walking up with Stuart. Zahir, you do see as you cast the spell and as the magic takes its effect, you look over and you see Morello with Stuart in tow.
Oh, thank you very much for getting him back.
Of course, I mean, losing one was already going to be hard for us. Losing more would be probably very terrible.
Catastrophic, to say the least.
We
Are you hurt, Morello?
No, I am. The last time you healed me was great. You got me all the way up. I've
guess-
never felt better.
That character's like
Alright.
touching like the new exposed parts of skin. I'm gonna look around. Can I get any sight on Hero's saddle or anything like that? Like either the shatter spell knocked it loose kind of in the hole, or just or is it just firmly fastened to the?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Which, speaking of which, as you guys are now kind of looking around, you do see that one of the tents was destroyed, or not destroyed, but like was completely ran through. And sadly, the realizations you hear sets in as you see that it was your tent that was ran through by this
I
Rimaraz.
thought it was gonna be.
I rolled for it. I rolled for it, and
Kicked me while I was down.
but Sir Denric, at this point, actually, sorry, I'll finish this investigation or this perception check. What was it?
11.
11. As you're kind of the only thing that was left behind that you can see, unless you want to actually go into the hole itself, is just blood. It doesn't appear that anything was knocked loose.
I'll peek into the hole and see as far as like where I can approximate my spell went off.
Okay.
See if anything shook loose. But I'm not gonna walk through what I think I might be aware of as a funeral rite. I'm not gonna walk through that if I'm gonna be interrupting it. But
yeah, and actually, I'll go ahead and send photos in the group chat to kind of give you a little bit of some context here, because I did end up adding
Corpses?
blood.
No, not so here is that. Kind of giving you a little bit of context.
Oh. Boy, that's a big ass hole.
Yeah. Let me see. How would it look on stream?
And that image is also pretty large. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Big ass
I'll at least
hole.
leave it up. But yeah. So as you look in, you can't really see anything that was shook loose. Sadly, it appears everything that was on his body, on his person at the time, has went with him. Unfortunately. At which point, I would say we go back to Sir Denric. What are you doing?
He's waiting to
I'm
excitedly
going
see
to-
Hero.
I'm going to approach the corpse
Okay.
of the Rimaraz.
Yep.
I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, you see this large insectoid creature, kind of sprawled out, kind of body zigzagging back and forth from its kind of centipede-like kind of elongated body. It's got dozens of legs coiling up the sides of it, kind of reaching up to where the fans where the fans protruded out around its head. At this point, you can see that they're kind of folded in some. You can see that the mouth is kind of hangs, blood kind of soaking the snow and stone next to it. You can see that the multiple laceration marks that you cut through, the beat down that you gave it. And even as you're standing in proximity, the body's still emitting some sort of heat. So it's like a comfortable warm, no longer a raging furnace. But yeah, it lays there, not moving.
It's a strange creature. And I want to poke at it with my sword. I'm going to kind of like... Can I kind of like look for weak points or no?
Sure. Go ahead and make Go ahead and make.
Is there a way to like learn stats of something or no? Or
Yeah.
is that more like a special bit?
No. I would say go ahead and make an. Let's see. Let me look. I would say just an investigation check. Let's make an investigation check to see if you can discern kind of how the creature's armor in this set is set up and kind of.
19.
19. You look and you can see that for the most part, the entirety of this creature is heavily surrounded in this kind of hard exterior carapace of this kind of like not scaly, but just like this hard exterior exoskeleton of sorts. You can see the kind of the large spine protrusions down like the center portion of its head and neck, and in the middle of its back. And those are actually still kind of glowing a little bit red from the heat itself. And just looking over, you can see that there are like little sections between the carapace exterior that have to obviously shift and move with the creature itself. And actually, let me go ahead and pull up the photo or the image again. 250. You can, and as you kind of are poking at it, you can see that the fan portion of its on the sides of its head, they don't seem to be heavily reinforced. So it seems to be kind of, I mean, you don't know necessarily how much it actually uses those to effectively fight or move or do anything. But those do not seem to be incredibly. They're like kind of. What are you touching it or are you just poking it?
Poking at it, I don't want to touch it.
Okay, so if not touching it, you don't really get. But you can kind of tell it looks like a leathery kind of consistency. But overall, I will say, as you're kind of poking at it and you're kind of pushing at different portions, this one being the smaller version, you do find points that are softer than others, and you kind of discern that the younger ones, probably not having been full developed and their exterior kind of armoring not having fully kind of set in, seem to be a little bit more susceptible than the larger ones. But honestly, mechanically, if you're trying to figure out like actual AC, I would say with a 19, you've determined that the young Remoraz is in the armor class of 14.
Fair enough. I'm gonna kneel down. I'm gonna mutter to myself, "Real bastard," and I'm gonna reach it towards his mouth. I'm gonna rip one of his teeth out.
Okay, so as you reach towards his mouth. Ah! No, I was kidding. It wakes up.
You burst into flame.
No, as you reach towards his mouth. Yo, why did this fan just get dark? This fan said, "I'm turning off the lights, bro. I'm going to sleep." As you reach into its mouth and you kind of start to jostle one of the teeth free, you can see that the interior of its mouth is just covered in razor sharp kind of dagger-like teeth. As you get in there and you kind of have to pull out your own dagger and kind of start to work it, but you do eventually pull out one of the teeth. And as you're kind of closer to the mouth of this creature, you can also see that the large kind of like chin protrusion, almost like spike looking things down like the center of it and off to the sides as well. The antenna kind of coming out from the under portions of its eyes and the kind of they furl out, and then the two kind of up over like the eyebrows shooting up and back and laying at rest.
Alright, well, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to hack its head off.
Okay. Go ahead and
Make an attack.
I would say go ahead and make a strength. Make an athletics check. Oh, actually, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, shit. 2. Athletics. 9.
9. They would have taken you a while. However, I just remember that you already cut off 3/4 of its head or 2/3 of its head in your killing blow. So you managed to just kind of pull back using one of the like kind of antenna protrusions. You kind of shift it back and just a couple swings and you cleave it off as you now have this. It's a large head. It's about this big, but you do now have the head.
Pick it up. I'm gonna say, sometimes you gotta make sure the job is done. And I'm gonna throw it down the hole, and then I'm gonna head back to camp.
Okay. As you cut off the head and you just chuck it in the hole, you then kind of wipe your blade off and make your way back to camp. Which I would say at this point, having done all that kind of all simultaneously, all kind of these things occurring, you do make your way over to camp. As you see Vierden kind of looking down the hole, kind of investigating, and at this point, Zahir, I'm assuming you went over to your kind of devastated tent.
I'll like pick through it real quick, but I'm gonna keep making the rounds to make the most out of my story form.
Okay, so you kind of going through your thing, and then you see Morello. So you see Zahir kind of on this flattened tent, and then you see Morello kind of over by Stuart tying up the ox as you make your approach. And I would say as you guys are all kind of doing this, Noria kind of, as she then stands up, kind of making a hand gesture, kind of stands up, and then starts to kind of turn back, kind of turns back and starts heading over to the other side of camp where Garmal's tent is. At which point you do hear Garmal call out, Noria, and she's, oh, I'm coming, as she is making her way, kind of meeting up with her. But at this point, it would be just you guys kind of over at your section of camp.
Did I make it back?
Yeah, you made it back.
I think I see Sir Dendrick, and immediately go, how'd you guys do over there?
We've fared, better than here, it seems. I would like to
happy
approach.
to hear that.
I want to approach and say here first thing.
Okay.
Yes, Sir Denver.
And I want to extend my hand. And I want to say, I thank you, Zahir, for the protection you cast on me. It very much kept me from burning alive.
Man, you were absolutely, you would have been cooking. Man, your armor was brighter than the snow out here.
Yes, it very much, the armor heated up quite a bit. I believe I've taken some burns as well. Seems to have gotten through in certain places. But, thankfully, it seems we all made it through.
Just to double check, how hurt are you, if at all?
I mean, like I said, my, fairly burned, but, I'm not doing too bad.
Alright, well, I'm very much running low out of healing capability, so I'll save it if there's anyone else gravely wounded.
Then yes, I would save it for, maybe the Goliaths. How did the camp fare? Who's all left?
There seems to be a few. I checked in on them. Most of them seem to be okay. Of the ones that are left, but there aren't the most of those.
And you kind of look past you towards the ox.
Oh no!
Dang, I got a wrong perception.
You already counted, and they were no longer. There was one down. If you want to see which one down, you can roll perception if you'd like. Also, Logan, why are you so fucking blurry, my guy?
I have no idea. I was messing with my camera, and then it stopped focusing as soon as it'll refocus itself. There's nothing I can do about it.
It's to
The
block
haze.
the brand that he's drinking.
That's true.
So judging by all the blood in the snow, I assume there wasn't a Goliath.
Yes.
I'll walk over to the.
Exov's like,
yes.
Unfortunately, Sir Denrick, your mount is no longer here in the camp. Actually, as he points over to the hole, it appears that one of the Remoraz wanted to have a snack, and brought Fiora with him into the underground, and sadly, and I will say this: Virden tried his absolute hardest. Virden took a lot of injury trying to protect the Ox, but the feeling that the agenda of the Remoraz were greater than mere distraction, unfortunately, and Hiro was taken.
Sir Denry kind of frowns. He's like, Real shame.
Indeed.
He was a good mount.
I'm still sitting in the
Kind of
hole.
look. You're in the hole.
Sitting in the hole. Kind of hiding from the awkward
Good job.
situation.
The mounts were still tied up, I assume.
Yes, they were they were still tied up. Well, the ones that did not break free, they were. Which at that point, Capkin was the only one that did not break free of its bindings. So the other ones were running around, running amok, and then obviously Hero was was obviously
So I suppose not much we can do about it.
Yeah, honestly, we'll have to figure out. Maybe we want to do that tonight, or maybe we can do that at a later date or something. But, or not a later date, but maybe the morning. Or we need to discuss what exactly our plan is at this point. How we're going to continue traveling, and what the intentions are with the ruins. Because obviously we had a plan, but that was what, an hour or so ago, and now things have definitely changed. So.
I think we should probably let the clan here kind of gather themselves, kind of like we are, and see if there's anything that the chief here wants to ask of us.
Yes, we can leave stuff or whatever help we can while we're here. But how injured they are and how we were, don't they still want to go through. As well as we'll have to account for the amount of time it will take us to travel one up down.
Right.
Well, they had been discussing a blizzard coming through, so I'm not sure we want to be in between here and our next stop in the middle of a blizzard.
When's Cause I'm gonna look around at the sky and ask questions like, did they say when the blizzard's supposed to be coming through?
I believe they said as little as 2 days.
Well, if it's not as beneficial to go out during blizzard, it would not be terrible for us to put it through. We had the food for more time than we be out here. I would prefer not to be rationing 1 or 2 days worth of food for a 4-day journey at the end of the time, but
Could you guys end up? You said you ended up killing one of them, right? The big old bugs.
One of the.
Could we eat it?
Yes.
If we're worried about rations, I mean, shit.
probably pretty well cooked.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I believe
I'm
it's Sir
sure.
Denric's kill, so
do you mind if
I mean, I
I
don't
look over
blame
the
you.
body? Do you mind if I take a peek at that when we're done with what we need to do here?
I mean, I don't want to keep it.
In that case, man, mind if
You're
I
more
maybe
than
keep a
welcome to
piece
eat
or
it.
something?
So you're more than welcome to eat it. I don't know what you do where you're from.
We don't have Remorazes, so I didn't know where it was from was safer, so that's cool.
Yeah, I am.
Say, damn, I miss home.
As well.
I miss hell, dude. Bullshit.
Damn, hell's safer than this place.
I will say at this point, the last kind of bits of sunlight are peeking over the horizon as the sun is now at this point kind of almost completely setted. The cold kind of at this point starting to. I think my dog's crying. He is. That's okay. He's in his crate and he's not happy. But the cold setting in. The snow kind of that was at a light kind of falling lightly. At this point, as you're looking kind of around and up, it's starting to fall heavier slightly. It's starting to it's increasing more than it has decreased at this point. I will say also, not only aside from Zahir's tent being ran through, the fire itself that you guys made was completely annihilated into the air as it burst forth.
Didn't we
Yeah,
add
probably
charcoal
ate
to this one too, or some shit? Didn't we went out?
We added our fire lighters to it.
Oh,
Our green fire
well, I
lighters.
guess. Can we regather the wood? Because I don't know if we started our fire.
You did not.
Anything
You had not started your fire. You can make an investigation check to see if you can find all your pieces of wood.
Yeah, because that's my
I'm sure
main
there's plenty
concern
of
being
wood
down
around.
heroes. Being down heroes saddlebags is the amount of wood and such.
Well,
Just
we would have
awesome.
Okay,
offloaded
so
a decent.
real quick,
so like the,
we need to address that. So what would you obviously you downloaded a lot of hero stuff. You're not just gonna let him hang out with a bunch of shit on him. However, I will say that I mean, his
50%
saddles,
lost.
his saddles, and all his stuff was obviously on him, so that's gone.
Well, I definitely would have kept. I would have kept some food and rations on the mount.
Okay.
I would have taken off the lantern, the hunting trap. Basically, I wouldn't have left like a bunch of weight on there. So like the dry bag would have been in the tent. Like the lantern, firewood probably would have just been taken off and stacked.
Yeah.
Maybe I have 17 and a half days of rations. What do you think I'd lose?
I'd say you'd lose 4 days. And then also
Yeah.
Zahir, I would say with your with you going through your tent there, you will have lost 3 days of rations and your tinder box.
All right.
Is the tent still salvageable?
The tent, as you're looking at it, you can see that it didn't take any serious damage. It kind of just got like crumpled up and pushed as it ran through, seeing as it didn't like directly attack it. And its legs. I guess let's see. There are portions of it. I would say because the proximity wasn't enough to actually do any real damage. Like it didn't burn it by any means. I mean, obviously it warmed it up, but it wouldn't have just like singed through it or burned it. Considering that, I would say yeah, the tent is still salvageable. And then as you're kind of picking through like your different items that you had offloaded, you managed to get everything gathered. I mean, everything was in it, so it's just a matter of putting it back together, except for some of the food was scattered and kind of lodged into the snow in your tinder box. You can't actually even find your tinder box. It's like tough. It's just not even present when you're going through all your gear. But yeah, that is where we're at.
Well, that's a shame.
So, is there anything else you guys would like to do before? Oh, make your investigation check,
Good,
Reardon, if
good.
you're looking for the wood.
Shed it here.
Sure, please. Yeah.
While you're at it, why don't you look for? it?
You can roll with advantage because Axel's going to help you.
Okay, cool. That's good because we got a 7 on the die. Change it to a 16 on the die. Change that to 23.
Yeah, I would say it takes you a little bit of time.
23.
23. It takes a little bit of time, but you do manage to find actually almost every single piece of wood. Maybe like one, there might be 1 or 2 missing, but it looks almost exactly identical to what the fire looked like before a giant fuck ass bug burst forth from the ground and sent it all scattering.
Well, how high would I need to roll to like build a cart?
I mean, you saw a cart back down the way.
The one that someone chose
It's facts.
explicitly not to look into.
However,
I start running now.
However,
How far back was that?
it was your first day. Actually, no. There was a cart-like kind of cart-like object that was along the barricaded kind of portions too. But obviously, the snow,
like 4 hours.
the depth of the snow is not going to be assisting your travel with any sort of vehicle. So,
If I forgo my long rest.
What if
you can certainly do that if you'd like to do it.
So is Sir Denrick asking
Grab
questions about how to
some
make a cart right
things,
now, or are
man.
you asking questions? Because Sir Denrick's sitting there going, like, what about a toboggan? Or, like...
Yeah, I'm like, Sure would be nice to have some sort of cart. I'm like looking over all my stuff. That's just this huge pile of stuff. Now I have nowhere to carry it.
You're like, why did I pack so much
Need the
shit?
rations, firewood,
think-
iron pots, repeating crossbow, rope.
Well, I think what we should do is whatever situation where we need to buddy up, whoever's buddying up with probably Sir Denrick, everyone else probably splits his pack. That way, We're putting weight around the best we can. Assuming we could put 2
Probably
people on
not.
one of these Walian oxes.
I don't have the most amount of stuff, and I lost a little bit of food, so I'm a little bit lighter now. I could take the majority of Sir Denrick's
Buddy
gear.
up. I
You want
mean,
to take Sir Denrick?
how heavy are you, Morello?
How heavy am I? I am quite
How heavy
light.
are you, bro? You sturdy or not?
I'm sturdy. Like 180
I'm sturdy.
at least.
You say 800 what? 800 pounds?
180.
Oh, okay.
How many? 380?
100.
680? Damn, dude, you're fat.
180?
790, bro.
Hey, how tall are you?
6'8".
Oh.
Dude, we got a lanky lizard.
Bro, you be skinny as hell, dude. I turn, I'm like, boy, you skinny as hell.
Dude, no wonder he's so fucking cold. He's got 2% body fat.
I don't know why. I thought you were like 400, dude. 'Cause I was gonna be like,
Yeah. I thought I heard something like that too. I don't know why. I was fully expecting to be like, how heavy are you? Like, I'm like 320. Like, I don't know.
300 pounds.
Hey, he is
more,
now,
dude.
bro. Now he's getting roasted, bro. He's got to put on those pounds.
Yeah.
Quick update, by the
I'm
way, my
about to
character's
eat half
backstory
of
was
my
lifting for
rations.
20 years.
Training montage.
I'm gonna pike each half of a corpse of a Goliath and lift it.
Yo, do a tricep extension with the weight of the Goliaths.
Yeah.
There's hanging.
Tendon over tree, just cables. You got cables.
We got cables. We got dumbbells.
Bro, one rope per.
As soon as
that
she's
one
done
guy,
with the
that's-
death threats, we immediately just clip the body.
Speaking of which,
Soul's at rest, the body's at work.
at this point, as you all are kind of gathering, you're kind of stacking up the rest of your firewood. You guys kind of have a conversation. Zahir's kind of rebuilding his tent. Sir Denrick's going through his shit. You kind of
Are they still having their funeral?
you kind of no. So she had left already. The body is still there, but you kind of passively recognize that like all the Goliaths were on the other on Garmal's side of the camp, and you can hear talking and stuff, and you can hear Garmal's voice kind of echoing kind of a little bit louder than the rest of them. However, they're not speaking common, and it's not super. It's not. He said, "I know, giant."
Could I
have dark
have
vision?
Balder strategically placed on the branch nearby?
Yeah, you can put him in like the
Fine.
half or not the half, but like the dividing little like kind of tree line between the camps. You can have Balder kind of resting up there. But do you, Morello, you just feel that they're kind of discussing plans. Some of the stuff that sticks out to you the most is Garmal saying, "We've already lost more individuals, more clansmen than I had even remotely anticipated. I felt like the major brunt of anything that we would have suffered would have been from within the ruins itself. And so the fact that we have already lost, what was it, 7, and then Korzak now, having come back and then also lost his life, 8 with the scouting party, and now another 5. I don't see how it makes logical sense to stick around to, I don't know, go delving within the ruins just to lose more. I don't." As he kind of frustratedly kind of raises his hands, Davior kind of chimes in. Well, I mean, I would say that you hear a lot of that because he's talking louder, whereas the other kind of the voices are a little bit more hushed. So you don't pick up anything. But Balder only hears like the giant coming out of their mouth. They are not speaking common.
I understand giant.
Do you know giant? Oh shit! I thought okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure.
Well, this man
And also,
said, well,
like,
actually,
as far as chores go around the camp, like I gathered wood, but after that,
Yeah, you're just chilling. I got you. Go ahead.
so and then thank God, I'm using Balder. I have advantage, right? So
No. Oh yeah. Well, is it on audio?
audio and visual.
Okay, then yeah, you're good.
Or some might call it sight and sound.
No. Audio
Yeah.
visual.
Yeah, so that's a 16 for his perception.
Okay, so as from where the the conversation left off from what Morello could hear, Balder being close enough, and you being able to kind of translate. You hear Favor kind of speak up like, "Well, I know you're frustrated, Garmal. Obviously, none of us, as he's looking around the camp, none of us, or the kind of the group, they're all clustered now at this point, kind of together, having a little like kind of clan huddle here. Obviously, none of us expected this, and we're all devastated. We're all devastated that this has occurred. But I mean, we did come here to go within the ruins. So I mean, obviously, with your approval, we could potentially maybe, I don't know, leave someone back or have one of us go in and, I don't know, depend. I guess we'd have to talk to the other group, but maybe if they're still planning on descending, we could have someone join them. Garmal, I don't know. No, I'm not going to be the reason why any more of us die. I was already foolhardy enough to come out here. I mean, we've made ventures obviously in the past to come out in the dead of winter and do excursions and hunt, but that was for more, necessity when it comes to food and gathering resources. This was a foolhardy attempt at, I don't know. No one stays. We'll go. We'll pack our things in the morning. We're gonna leave. I don't need any more of these. I don't need any more of my brothers and sisters on my head. The deaths are already. You kind of see he swallows like they're already on. It's already weighing heavy, and I'm sure the Earth Mother will have something to say about it down the road. And then that's kind of where the conversation kind of dies for a second or two, and then, all right, well, Garmal kind of speaks back up. Well, let's go ahead and get some rest. And what rest we can get. We'll go talk to the others. They'll kind of, and they kind of all collectively kind of, all right, yeah, I'm not, approving, acknowledging what he says. At which point, through Balder, you can see now Garmal is now beelining it through the couple trees.
Running.
Yeah, he starts moving with a purpose, kind of fast walking now over to your group, as the remaining of the clan has now dispersed and kind of going about their evening rituals.
Yeah, I'll leave the wargs situation I have, but I won't. I'll at least try not to give anyone a heads up or something. Just let Garmal come and say what he wants to say.
Okay. So as Garmal kind of you all I would say you're holding half your tent, you're grabbing some shit out of that, you're for some of your tools, you're fuck, as you're now kind of amidst this, but
I could go find some sticks and make some new poles.
No, so you're trying to pull things down, rummaging it together. But the stakes itself weren't necessarily damaged; they're just dislodged. But you all see Sir Denric exiting his tent, kind of evaluating his situation. You're muted, by the way, Sir Denric.
As he's fucking with his tent poles, I'll bring the broken lance over.
Okay.
And I offer it as a tent pole.
I think the temples are all fine, but I'll take it if you don't want it. Not even as a keepsake.
Yeah, shrug. I mean, if you don't need it, I was just offering.
No, I appreciate the offer, but there seems to be everything still here, aside from tinderbox.
I
can't toss it back towards my tent.
Yeah, he just kind of lands in the snow. At which point, Garmal is now about to kind of he's walking up towards your guys' little kind of fire has now been rebuilt by Virden as he's walking over. Did you light it, by the way, Virden? As I mean, it is now getting cold out.
Yeah, I might as well. Well, actually, no, I don't think I would have lit it because I want Virden specifically wants to wait to see if we want to make a decision. That's why I would be waiting for Garmal initially if we want to go into the ruins, so that's gonna be safer.
Okay, gotcha. So as Garmal kind of walks over, all right, I've talked to the remaining of my clansmen, and I was trying to get an understanding for the situation as to what you guys are planning on doing. Obviously, your group is a little bit more intact than ours, but what is your intentions? Are you still going to be making your way into the ruins itself?
Myself, I was waiting to see what you guys wanted as far as, I don't know if it's safer out here or if we wanted to try to get in there as far as just shelter and safety, but I suppose you guys know these lands certainly better than us.
Well,
I was gonna wait for your judgment there.
it's not a bad consideration, however. The structures that are within the actual ruined walls, they're not very sturdy. They've obviously seen better days, and we don't have access to the ruins itself. We don't know how to get in. And seeing as, you know, we're all beat to shit and, you know, exhausted from the fight, I mean, if as he kind of chuckles out, if anything attacks us in the night, or if those Remoraz come back, then I guess it's the Earth Mother saying it's our time. So I think we're just gonna hunker down. We're just gonna stay where we are. Hopefully that with the amount of brutality that we met them with, hopefully they'll stay back. They'll maybe find something else to eat for dinner.
I know that they got off with one of our oxes, which is not a small thing, so hopefully that'll at least stay them for, if that's just their reasoning for coming here as food.
You lost one of your ox. Well,
Yeah, we did.
that is
But-
unfortunate.
Well, my sincere condolences to you. We were thankful to only lose an ox.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, on that note, I feel like it is worth mentioning that I greatly appreciate, if you have not already shown your kindness and your generosity to one of my own Korzak, who sadly is no longer with us, and we will have to be informing his wife that he fell in battle valiantly, but he fell nonetheless. I just want to say that I respect and am in awe of all of your capabilities, especially you. As he looks over to Sir Denric, you and all your armor, you fought valiantly, and I will say you practically took on that young Remoraz yourself, and for that that's mighty impressive. Not many Goliaths in our clan could even do that. So he kind of
smile and say, as you can see, it does have its use.
I'll never admit it, but sure. Anyway.
You don't have to.
So, well, considering your mount situation is getting a little bit precarious and you have quite the ways to go to get to your next destination, I would like to offer, considering your extensive aid in combat, we do have sleds. We do use sleds that actually you think we don't just lug around all these tents and all this gear fucking half-assed. So we do have
put him on a toboggan.
we do have a means of transportation that at least could pick up some slack. Considering
Style nowadays.
if you feel like that is necessary.
That alleviates a great deal of stress for us. I appreciate that.
We could definitely
Also, do they have a? Can I see? Do they have a fire going over there already?
Yeah, they have the fires. It's the fires that were kind of on your section where the Goliaths were kind of sharing that space. The fires didn't they weren't damaged, so they're still kind of going. They're kind of burning down some, but then the one over where Garmal's kind of section is, you can see that the fire was built back up. You can hear the crackling of the wood.
I think seeing that, I'm gonna ask Garmal, if you don't mind. I mean, we just all went through a pretty rough ordeal there. If you don't mind, we could join you guys at your fire. You know, that way we're all at least together. I think I say this kind of smiling to myself, knowing that right now that we have Zahir just struggling to put a tent back together, and I'm currently suggesting relocating the tents.
You see Zahir over there? He's like in the tent, like you see like the silhouette, almost like he's wearing a sheet, like a ghost. His arms up, like trying to like get the supports back on the interior of it.
I'll peek out. I'll peek out and see Garmal and be like, "Oh, I was able to check up on everyone else, but you, are you still injured at all?"
No. Well, I would like to
Or
note.
let's just sticking out of his chest.
I would like to note that
Good
where,
guy,
where
like
his you can see that like a lot of the bleeding has obviously been stopped, but you can see that there are large like abnormalities where his rib cage is. You can see there's like a couple sunken portions of where that are probably busted fucking ribs, and just like where the Remoraz chomped into his midsection. But I appreciate that, but actually, Fabio, he tended to me, so best to keep your abilities, in reserve in case anything stupid happens tonight. But to answer your question, I think it'd be great if we all, the majority of these tents are no longer being occupied, so I say that we probably all huddling up around the same area would be for, beneficial. And so if anything were to happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. That way we're not all separated, and also, sounds like a good idea. And I'll turn now to everyone else as I offered for them.
And
does that sound good to you guys? Axoff?
Absolutely, I think
Morello?
that just makes the most sense.
I would not mind safer in numbers.
One other thing is I never got a chance to look at the door to that tower. How terrible of an idea would it be to maybe see if we can get that open and be in there?
I will go with you. I would like to check out the pool of the maiden.
Maybe it's worth having some people check it out, but let's not lead another corral, I guess.
You are obviously more than capable to do whatever it is you'd like. However, it is dark, and it is starting, the cold is starting to set in, so probably best that we stay close together. However,
It's full of terror.
feel free. We will not be sending anyone we will not be joining you. We will be around our fire, and just, I guess, yell if anything were to arise.
Will do.
Do you want to just go check it out really quickly? See what we can find out? Head back to camp?
Well, I can always set this up later, and if we do go in there, I don't need to set it up, so... Yes.
I'll start heading on over.
Yeah, I'll put the sticks down, drape the tent back over.
Quickly put the lance in your tent.
You checking up on everybody else.
As I'm walking away.
Marla, can you make your make your mic any louder? You're pretty quiet on the stream. I don't know if you
I
can
was
get
actually about to ask
if you
what he just
if you
said. I
can
also couldn't hear him well.
if you can get the input higher or something.
Actually, I haven't heard anything you said since.
Todd, you just have it muted, which I understand, but
Is it this guy again?
Zahir, how are you doing? Have you been injured yourself? I did not see while we were fighting. And
Well,
you've been checking up on everyone else.
Despite my best efforts, I have yet to be struck on this whole
That's
journey.
the best
Shooting
effort.
is-
you fucker.
I literally landed on the fucking ice render's face, and I tried to bait a reaction or a fucking reaction
took away
attack.
from you.
attack of opportunity.
Ramirez, 2 Z's.
No, it's REMO. Oh, sorry, hold on. REMORHEZES.
Say it again.
REMORHEZES.
Yeah, I'll just head on over.
Morhees?
Remoraz. I mean, it's spelled not necessarily like that, but I think it makes more sense than having a stroke with however it's spelled in the book. So I'll type it in the I'll type it in the chat. I'll type it in the chat, bro. Don't worry about it.
Brains blew up.
But are you both just departing now to go to the ruins?
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
cast the light on my mace while we're walking over there, so we have a little bit of dim light.
Okay. As you guys kind of gather your things and make your way, or kind of starting to go, Garmal says, but yes, obviously, if you need anything, just feel free to ask. But our fire is more than welcome to any of you that wish to join us And if you'd like to relocate your tents over to our section, then feel free.
We'll probably relocate. I'll at least plan on bringing the oxen a bit closer, just so we're not too far from them. But I think while they're going, I'm probably going to grab one of their oxen, kind of bring it closer to the other tents. If there's something that accommodates that.
One of the main reasons why I wanted to come over here, though, was just letting you know that, regardless, obviously, of whether you're going in or not tomorrow, we will be departing, and so once daybreak hits, we will be breaking down camp and we'll be heading back to where to our village. So,
is that further along the frost trail? Might we see you again, or?
No, it's north into the it's more north into the actual what the fuck is it called? Dire Frost. Dire Frost.
I was gonna say, it's like, man, I wish I could tell you what it was called, but I only know one man who can answer that.
No, we're located. We're located north in the Dire Frost. So, however, my druids, they tell me that a blizzard is coming in, and you can already tell as he kind of lifts his hand out that the snow is coming down harder. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next day or two there's inclement weather that might falter your travels, but we will be departing in the morning.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate that heads up. So at this point, you guys already, Zahir and Morella already left, so it's just me, Sir Denric, and Axoff.
They were like kind of getting ready. I know Sir Denric said like wait or something, so they were kind of like starting to like gather the things and kind of making their way over there. So as Gormor finishes up and turns back, if you want to say anything, Sir Denric, you can kind of call out.
Are you gonna check out the ruins, Virden?
Oh, is everyone doing that? I guess I'll turn to Axoff as like, I'd feel more comfortable heading with them to the ruins if you're all right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Clearly, this structure is obviously a little bit more. Its defenses are a little bit more than just simple lockpicking, but I do have expertise in navigating those kinds of things. So I mean, I could go over there if say the front door needs to be just simply unlocked. But I'm down for either or, honestly.
I guess, is this an endeavor we'd even undertake? If we get the door open?
I'll stay with them. I'll stay with the clan here and get all our stuff situated. Just in that way, you guys can't commit to go and running through every room if you get the thing unlocked. At least I'd hope you come back and let me know. And that way we can hopefully do it in the morning. I'd hope. Don't fall down a hole that's too deep to get out of, but
I'll stay here as well.
All right. Well then.
All right. It looks like it's me and these two.
Send the glowing boys in there.
Send the glowing boys. I am anything but a glowing boy, so I'll
send the glow orbs in there.
The glowies.
The glowy boys.
The goose axe.
Thinking back, was Sir Denric's lance broken in how many pieces?
Just like the front was broken off.
Yeah, it's kind of splintered. It was just like a tip. It kind of got shattered off.
I mean, it's like
Literally
long
me.
though. Lance would be like 8 feet long or something. I would say the lance is like at least a 6-foot pole.
All right.
I mean, yeah, lances are big. Wait, so I think I missed it last. Did you break it fighting the Ramaras?
Oh yeah, dude. I was on Cavalier class, bro, with the mount, dude. I was on hero, dude. I did a charge attack against.
No, the
him,
ice render.
bro.
The ice render.
Ice
Bro,
render.
and I hit it with the lance, broke it, and then
right now.
Hero
I have no idea.
Hero hit it with the gore attack. Dude, did a bunch of damage.
The actual creature is called the Grey Render, but I modified it.
Oh, that makes more sense because I see the gray render. It's gross as fuck. Right, well, I'm glad Viriden was there for it, and I wasn't.
He said, "Good thing I don't have PTSD, my character does."
Yeah, my character probably fucking was pretty chill seeing that.
Man, he's like, hell is better than this place.
Dude, seeing that monster scared him so much he learned Firebolt.
Yeah, I was gonna.
He said, "Oh shit."
Knowledge.
All right. So as this trio makes their way over to the ruins itself, I did upload another photo I will actually upload 2 photos, considering there'll be multiple portions here that we will see.
You spell Remedies for me.
Yes, bro, I can do that for you.
Oh,
Shit.
it's killing me, dude.
Bro, I could tell. This man said, bro, halt the game. I need the word.
Well, in the visuals chat, there's a photo of it.
I think it also has the name of it in the photo. No, I don't think it does.
Remor has.
No, it's Remor. It's spelled with, I think it's,
Yeah, I think it is
Remor
without
has.
the E.
I think, yeah, because Raz is,
Okay.
where it's Remoraz.
Remor has.
Remor has. Yeah, Remor has. It's like, bro,
Raz.
has. No, Remor
Remor
has.
has.
Remor Raz.
No, it's a silent H.
Remor
Remor
yeah,
has.
yeah. Silent, no H. Take rid of the H. Just give it to the next person.
Next person gets
Use
to
it.
Remor
H.
has.
All right, now that you're happy.
It's the L.
Never in my life would ever be
The
accused of being
rumor
so.
weed.
Okay, so as you all 3 make your way over to the to the entrance of the ruins, you kind of look over to the right as you kind of go back onto the frost trail, using it as the connecting point to getting to the ruins. You see that all the Goliaths are kind of huddled around, kind of using those portions of tree like kind of stumps to sit around the fire. You can hear a little bit of talking, but it's fairly somber over there. Not a whole lot going on. Just a little bit of chit chat happening, but even then, it's far and few between. I'm going to change the music because it's going to get fucking interesting up in here.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm going to ask the Goliaths very personal questions.
Yeah. So, how many kids do you have, and
You
how
just gonna
much
talk
home
as
wrecking did that
fuck.
Remoraz do?
Yeah. So
Well, how
anyway,
much did you
who
guys-
and
how
was
can
your
I
wife?
help?
So, as you all kind of step over the destroyed kind of half archway that Zahir had translated and found the remaining pieces that translated the word to Valenvor. So you step into these ruins, your light kind of casting shadows as the snow now at this point is
Oh.
starting to fall heavily.
I'll have light on my staff as well.
Okay.
And then as we enter, I'll turn to them and say, one thing that I had noticed, I had stepped on one of those like supporting arches that go into the base of the tower, and
Listen,
I had noticed there was something like emanating from them beyond. And so this place is significantly more magical beyond just what you think that fountain may be.
I mean, the runes that we have seen have all been glowing too, correct?
Which runes?
No, the inscriptions and the words that you saw have not been. Were not glowing.
Okay. Well, yeah, the only thing I can think of is either looking at the main entrance or the bowl.
Yes, I was going to go look at the door.
Okay. So as you guys continue onward, as you guys are making your way, you do notice that the snow, as it falls, it does hit the stone pathway leading from the arch to the stairs. However, it does not stick. So it continues, just kind of it doesn't like burn away, but it just doesn't hold. It just hits the ground and it kind of just melts.
Still hot.
As you're making your way to the base of the stairs, you have to kind of bypass the Remoraz. At this point, you guys see that his head is completely chopped off. It is no longer has a head on its neck.
Oh, did I do that?
Ooh, did I do that? But as you make your way over, and as you're walking up, Axoff says, "What exactly do you mean by emitting?" You said the presence, an aura. What exactly was it doing that made you conscious of this? I don't know, magic or whatever is that you mentioned it here.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and I was very much busy with dealing with those creatures, but it seemed to be some sort of vibrations at the very least.
Interesting. Well, I guess we should probably be careful. I mean, why wouldn't we? As he now unslings his crossbow. You can see he goes to unsling his crossbow and then goes, like, pauses and then keeps it on and draws his sword.
I'll cast Magic Stone and hand them to him.
I honestly, I do not want your stones. I think I'll be all right. At which point, as he draws his short sword and he draws his dagger, and this dagger was tucked kind of in the back portion of his like pant line, and as he pulls out his dagger, you see this incredibly kind of dark, ebony kind of coloration dagger, and the blade itself almost kind of has this almost kind of has these like bends to it as it goes up and down, kind of back and forth up the blade, and towards the bottom of it, kind of towards where it actually goes to the handle and kind of to like the little like half guard is, you see serrations along it, and within the kind of as the blade kind of connects to the handle, you can see on either side this kind of intricate design. It looks to be like almost like a bat face, as it's kind of like fangs kind of as it's kind of like face is protruding out, fangs kind of what is it, revealed, kind of this like this kind of twisted face of what looks to be like a vampire bat, or a bat with like almost like a vampire face. It's really strange, and you can see that there are these that behind it, kind of a little bit like almost like in the backdrop of whatever this design was supposed to be, you can see like these like bat wings kind of coming off and curling down the handle of the blade as he pulls it out and kind of just keeps it at the ready. Well, I did not.
No.
I say we continue.
Suit yourself then, and I'll put them back in the pouch.
Yeah, keep your fucking magic rocks, motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck that guy. No one wants my rocks.
Dude, I even asked for your rocks, bro. And you
No,
won't
you
give them.
fucking haven't. You have not asked
Bro,
me once.
I would like to see. I would like.
The Goliaths might have done some fucking damage if they had some rocks.
Hey, I like to think that you like offer them the axe off. You said no. You just put him back away and turn around. Morello's like, wait. His hands like all stressed, and he's like,
Oh yeah, if we armed all the Goliaths with slings.
Dude, imagine.
if only.
Like 2 of them might still be alive.
Maybe.
But yeah, I do just that. I say shrug and then I turn around and head back towards the tower.
I'll follow behind.
So as you all make your way to the base of the steps up to the actual kind of raised platform, you guys walking up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to actually like put my hand on the like arch thing.
To the left or the right?
The one I was on, so the left.
Okay. So as you go up and you kind of touch it, you can feel the slight like the vibration kind of emitting from it on your, like vibrating your hand and kind of slowly working its way through the rest of your bodies. Your hand and your arm start to vibrate.
Does it seem like it's vibrating, or like it's like channeling through me and my hands are feeling something?
Make an insight check. Oh,
You don't touch the crystal.
Dalincross, bro. OG.
That's
Good
a
times. 9. Hard for you to tell.
Does anyone else feel anything coming from this?
The crystal you were touching, or the...
No, it's not a
The-
crystal. It's like the arch.
the arch.
Crystal said don't touch the
A
crystal.
little
No,
arch thing
that's a tribute to our OG campaign where Eric Bouchard grabbed, as Dalincross grabbed the magical crystal and incinerated himself.
Bro, just say his full name and address. Why don't you?
Yeah, hey, Eric Bouchard, who lives in DC, bro, hit him up. His mailing address.
I also want to say, he didn't just touch a crystal and then, like, there's crystals being used that we knew was actively summoning a demon.
That's
and there were,
true.
like, people chanting around it, and he's just like, I'ma slap it.
I'm like a cut G. He's just like,
Or he said hand boning's gonna save your life someday.
Just, thank God Corey's just like, yeah, could you grab a jewelry store for me? Because I know I'm going to need to cast Revivify a lot.
that shit was strong. Morello, you go in and you go up and you touch and you feel a similar vibration.
So I feel the similar kind of magical vibration that you were talking about. I'm not sure what kind of magic it is, but I do feel something here.
Is it just is there Denrick with us, or and then Axov
No,
is with us?
Just Axov.
Okay. Axov, are you magically inclined at all?
I mean, I've seen it and I have dabbled within the. I have worked alongside magic, but I myself is not. I'm not a purveyor of magic, so I mean I can go ahead and feel it if you like. As he puts his hand on it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very much vibrating. As he kind of quickly recoils his hand. I think we are all on the same page with that.
Inside check.
Oh, inside check. For what exactly?
If he was just saying it super quickly because he was just bullshitting, because that's what we said.
Oh, go ahead and make inside check. Let's see if he's lying.
Yeah, he just wants to be included.
Y'all are just tripping. There's actually nothing happening.
7.
7? Hard to read.
Yeah, hard to read. Alright, fair.
Alright, and then I'll continue up the steps.
Okay. So as you continue up the steps, if you can look at the visuals that I'd be sending in the chat.
Yeah.
So as you make your way up these steps, kind of your feet hitting the stone and the noise kind of emitting out into this kind of quiet space as you one by one make your way up these steps. Eventually, you do make it past the point at which the Remoraz attacked Sahir as you now take the final steps up onto the actual landing itself. In front of you, you see a single door that is about 5-ish feet wide, about 10 feet tall. To the left and right of it, you see two braziers. Well, actually, these ones are kind of like wall mounts that hold torches, that would have held torches at one point. Which are
sconces.
Yeah, sconces, which are no longer, the torches are. I mean, the mount is there, but the torch itself is not in it. You can see kind of to your right and your left, you can see these kind of raised up with a stone kind of support underneath it, not like directly attached to it, but just kind of elevating the brazier up off the ground. You can see these kind of metal in construction will look to be braziers. However, they are not lit. In the I couldn't turn them off in Tailspire. They are not lit though.
Oh, okay.
And as you make your way to the top of this, to the top of the ruins itself here, the snow falling is doing similar to what it was doing on the pathway, as it is not sticking, it is not maintaining on the actual floor itself as it melts away.
Is it also not on the arches?
It is not on the arches now. Off to the right.
I'd like to put my.
Go ahead.
Can I put my hand to the ground below me?
As you put your hands to the ground below you, it's cold.
Nothing. Okay.
However, off to the right hand side, you can also see this in the photo, which you can kind of see on the stream. Sorry, can't zoom in really. But to the right kind of portion of the perimeter of where this wall's kind of exterior meets the actual base of this raised platform, you can see bricks and pieces of stone that are scattered along kind of the base of this portion of the tower. And you can see these bricks continue scattering kind of in various sections, and they continue to arc around to your right as they arc around to this like kind of alleyway that's created to the right. As well as you can also see to the left, you can see that there's obviously kind of a space for you to be able to follow to the left-hand side of the tower as well. So there's two kind of portions you can do to make your way around. And as you're looking around, you do look directly to your right, and you see what looks to be a white gray looking statue at the end of this almost extension of the raised portion here. It's probably once the stone kind of makes its way to this like individual section, it cuts down to about 5 to 10 feet across as it jets out and leads directly probably after about 20-30 feet to this statue that you can't really make out the details from this far away, but it oddly stands out amongst the rest of this space.
Is there anything striking about the door? Anything super jump out, like words, anything?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
A 17.
A 17. You do notice that there is inscribing similar to the wording that you found on the exterior of the arch with Valenvor. It is etched above the actual doorway itself here. You can see that the door is made up of, it almost looks to be like a gold. There's like a gold sheen to it as you have your lights kind of emitting and reflecting off of this. You can see that the door and the stone is regular for the most part, stonework when it comes to actual like in construction, but this kind of gold door stands out. And you can see it has a handle. There is a lock on it, on the front.
I'll inspect any of it further and then maybe put my hand on it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation.
If you're gonna start getting handsy.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunate.
cast guidance on him.
It's not gonna help much.
Okay, yeah. As he steps forward, you tap him.
Yeah, I've got like my light, my mace with the light spell.
That's a
on
5.
him as well.
It's a 5. Well, as you step forward and you go to, and you can see that the door is kind of recessed within this actual door frame. You can see that's probably about like 6 to 12 inches kind of recessed in. And as you go to kind of look at it and kind of go to touch it, your hand doesn't hit the door, but it hits a barrier of some sort as it just hits a wall. And as you kind of tap it, you can see that as you tap it, like a gold sheen kind of emanates, like, and kind of flutters across the space, and then kind of restabilizes, and it's perfectly transparent again. And this is at like the actual threshold of the doorway, or of yeah. What's the door frame? Sorry.
Does anyone have any idea? Anything? I'm not sure of what this could be. Although I might have something to deal with it.
You're the expert.
There, Sir Denrick.
Yeah, Sir Denrick. Shut the
Shut up.
Sir Denrick pops up. You're supposed to be
pocket, bro.
I'm literally.
No, I was
guys...
just out of pocket. Hold up. I was out of pocket calling his ass out.
Yeah,
dude.
full meta.
Full meta. I take the D6.
Full meta,
advantage.
mask off. Fuck you. All right.
I said you're bad.
Axoff looks confused. Honestly, I've not really dealt with anything like this before.
Can I hear that?
Well,
Yes, I have never seen a magic similar to this. So, as far as I know, it's not giant magic. But other than that, I cannot give you any other information.
well, I've one last thing that I could maybe do to it before I'm completely spent on my capabilities for the day. But we should inspect that statue over there.
Yeah,
We'll deal with this last.
I don't think that we should honestly expend anything. I think that if we can, well, unless you're sure or certain that it would work. But
I'm confident.
okay, well then, potentially we should try it. But I do think that's, I mean, if anything were to probably help the situation, maybe that statue.
Yes, that seems to be the next point of interest.
So as you all kind of, Uzi here leading the way, make your way over to this to this extended portion of the platform here. As you walk out to it, and you stop within about, well, I mean, are you guys walking all the way up to it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll walk all the way up to it.
Okay, so as you walk all the way up to it, and you're about 5-ish feet away, you see, okay, so you see an angelic figure kind of depiction. You see that there's this, and looking at it, it seems to be about actually, before you look at, go ahead and make an intelligence checks for me, Z, here real quick. Actually, go ahead and Morello as well.
Can I help him with it?
No, just make it on your own.
Okay.
In hindsight,
is-
maybe
oh,
it could have fucking been.
Crisp 6.
19.
Okay. As you're looking at it, it appears to be, it looks like marble of sorts of construction with the white kind of gray kind of sheen of it. The skull. It looks to be marble in construction, but you see this kind of angelic figure, kind of robes adorned. You see wings tucked, kind of curled back behind them, but you can see that like where like the kind of wing portion, kind of the tips of them kind of go up and flutter downwards, them kind of folded behind the back. You see both hands stretched out, and I would say they're good, probably at least a portion of the palm, but the majority of the main four kind of fingers, both of them are dipping within this what looks to be a bowl. The bowl is supported by this like kind of cylindrical kind of pillar up underneath of it, and you see underneath that pillar is kind of like just like a raised up portion of stone that just kind of supports the pillar as it goes up and connects to the bottom of the bowl as it stands in front of this angelic figure, where hands kind of, you see like the robes kind of coming down from both of the arms as both hands are kind of dipped into this water, and you can see as you're looking at it, you can hear the trickling of water as the bowl is the ripples and the water, or the water ripples as the bowl is generating or water is being produced somehow and shifting within this bowl.
It's like rippling up from within, or is it like cascading from the sides of the bowl?
Make a perception check for me.
Can I
8.
walk up to the bowl as well?
18.
Yeah, if you'd like to. 18?
I do a bowl as
Yes.
well.
Hey, yo, wait a minute. So as you're kind of investigating, you kind of step over and you look. You do see that there's appears to be like a little bit, like a tiny hole, kind of in the center of where the pillar would like kind of funnels up and it goes and attaches to the bowl. But as you're also looking, you're kind of seeing where this water is coming from. You do see in Celestial etched on the front of this pillar that supports the bowl. You see it says, "Sanctify oneself so as to perform the divine will of the golden scale."
Perform the what?
To perform the divine will of the golden scale.
Can I take my hands and put them in the bowl the same way that one has it?
Yes, you can.
Hands in your vaporized.
Real quick, Zahir, you also see that the way that the inscribing is written, you see that the golden scale, the golden scale is capitalized, so it could be like a name or like a title of sorts. I do want you to roll a religion check for me, Zahir.
God.
Actually, hold on. Are you proficient? In religion?
That's an intelligence.
No.
Why did I stay behind?
And you're not proficient in religion either, huh, Merlo?
No, I'm not a holy man.
All right, sounds good. So
You asked for Arcana, Investigation, Religion, and Intelligence, all 4 of which I am proficient in.
Hey, you're-
and I'm like,
hey,
barbecue.
hey, you're knee deep in a conversation talking about Korzak's wife and long living history of how he hunted with his friends when he was young.
It's tough.
Sure.
But as
And it
you
rolled anyway?
as you put your hands within the bowl itself, and you're kind of investigating, you're kind of kneeling down to here, and Morel just steps up and just shoves his hands into the water. As you do that, you feel the water is warm, and it kind of ripples over your fingers as you do a similar motion, but nothing significant other than the fact that the water is warm occurs.
Yeah, how much time are you willing to spend out here with me?
He strips naked.
The fuck?
Dives
in? What the hell do you plan on doing?
No, I have a spell. It just
Dude,
takes
why was
a while
that
to cast.
hot?
I plan on investigating this until everything's seen. And I'll stand up and I'll also like try and dip my hands in it.
You get a similar experience of warm water with kind of the kind of rippling over your fingers and kind of massaging them of sorts.
Can I start ritual casting ceremony?
Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up
I'd
someone.
like to bless the water. Normally, it's you touch a vial of water and it causes it to become holy water. Could I do that to this bowl or attempt?
It busts water. You touch one vial of water and causes it to become holy water. Okay. You realize it's a casting time of an hour, right? And so it'd be an hour.
I
And
do.
An hour and
Yeah,
10.
that's the
An
That's
hour
why I
and
asked
10
why
minutes.
how long.
Holy
So
shit!
he asked, "How long do you want to stay here with me?" The other man replied, "Until we explore everything that needs to be explored." Then they're just gonna dip their hands in the water and kind of hold hands for an hour.
No,
And I no longer
to.
think I no longer think Axoff is actually invited.
Do you have 25 gold pieces worth of powdered
He's
silver?
just watching, bro.
I bought a component pouch. I don't know what came in said component pouch, but that was what I bought from you.
I know the component pouch. The component pouch was a decent amount of money, but I would say for 25 gold pieces worth, I would say you would have the ability to cast this once.
Yeah,
It would consume it though at that point.
You're requiring components.
If it has a gold piece worth, then
Spells, absolutely, yeah.
then it does.
I pull out 25 extra gold, which I have. I melt it with my fire breath.
Oh yeah,
Consume
no.
it for the
Okay,
spell.
hold on. Wait a fucking
Wait,
joke.
it's silver,
pulls a
silver dust, right?
Powder-
Silver
powdered
pieces?
silver.
Pulls a brick out of the wall and starts
Some
smashing
gold.
it.
No. So you can do it once, and then you would need the components again. I would say that at the very least. I'm not gonna be like, haha, bitch, you didn't say it. So guess what? No, but I will say you can use it once if this is what you'd like to do.
Cool. I will use it this one time. I'll be like, continue to explore around whatever you need to do. I will be over here, and I will holler if I need you.
Will do.
And
And
then-
yeah, is there, looking over back the other way, is there enough light to be able to like see if there's anything of note the other or to the left
Well,
from the tower?
so I mean, there's no light emitting from anything. Obviously, the braziers they're out, but you did see when you walked up the steps that there was a pathway that led deeper, and you could go around the sides of the tower, so you could very well investigate further down if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to do a quick jaunt down there.
Okay, Axoff being like, well, obviously, I do not think I will be very much help if here, so well, I'll go with you.
All right.
So as
I'll
you
lead the way with my light on my.
okay, let me go ahead and
When
send.
they walk away, I want to stick my face in the bowl.
It accelerates the cast. by
Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay, so as they leave, and
Wait a second.
so as they leave, and you take your hands out the bowl and you your face, immediately your body is like surged with warmth as being submerged in this water. Not like the water is warm, but as it hits your face, you're like, oh, it kind of feels nice, and then your neck feels warm, and then your shoulders, and then your chest, and then your arms and your legs, and then pretty soon everything over your body is just it's a comfortable warmth as everything kind of washes over you, and you sit there and you kind of a couple air bubbles come out, and then you. Well, how long do you want to keep your head underneath there?
I'll keep my hand under there for like 30
The
seconds.
full hour.
Yeah.
Until the microwave dings.
Like 30 seconds and then I'll come back up.
Okay. What is your alignment?
My alignment is neutral good.
Neutral good. As you come up, you feel reformed. You feel you feel
Cheevies.
changed. You feel like, upholding the natural law and order of things, definitely should have more weight in your life going forward. Maybe not being so, destructive when it comes to achieving your goals, and you just kind of have these self-reflective thoughts. Your alignment is now lawful good. However, yeah, I just put it in parentheses if you want to, or you can erase it completely. It's up to you. But that is where we're at.
Holy shit! A lawful character I have never.
You would never.
Dang.
We know.
Get lawful gooded.
But as you have this kind of self-realization, you go into Zahir and Axoff. As you kind of make your way around the corner of the tower, you let's see. I'll send this one. Let me change over the stream so that they can see as well.
Ooh.
Kind of.
Oh, what the hell?
Okay. So as you make your way and you kind of curve around the left-hand portion of this tower, you see that in front of you is a long kind of almost bridge-like kind of construction out in front of you as it leads to another one of these towers. However, it stops at the entrance. It butts up right against the front kind of edge of this tower, and there is no exterior construction that allows you to walk around its perimeter, unlike the one that you initially saw coming up. And you see kind of evenly spaced these kind of raised up pieces of stone that hold these kind of iron braziers, but they are unlit. Oh, actually. So as you're looking out, Morello, as you pull your head out and you're having these thoughts, the braziers all light up as they all shoot across. And now, as you guys are looking down this kind of pathway, all of a sudden you hear like a... And as you look, you see the lights flicker, and they go across this bridge, all of them lighting up almost, seconds or milliseconds before each other or after each other, as you now are as the space is illuminated. And there's also one kind of in the corner to your kind of directly in front of you, kind of towards your right, on the back portion of the tower that you see. So this space is now illuminated.
I'll turn around.
Axoff's kind of like kind of looking around too with his weapons. What the fuck was that? Did you do something?
I didn't do something. Well, Morello was doing something. And can I see Morello from where I am?
You cannot, no. He's obscured by the tower. On this, I mean, he said he was going to take a while, so it'd be kind of strange if... Do you want to check on them, or do you want to investigate this first?
Probably best.
Okay, let's do that. As you guys make your way back over there, Morello, you're a little bit lightheaded, just because there's so many kind of thoughts and kind of a lot of self-reflecting going on, some deep self-reflecting. You're kind of like starting to nitpick memories that you had of where you're kind of a douche to somebody, and you're kind of like, I could have been maybe not so much of an asshole. And you kind of have a lot of these reflective thoughts, as Axoff and Zahir, as you make your way kind of around in the corner back towards the front of the tower, you can see Morello kind of leaning over the bull, hands kind of outstretched.
I'll see that, but before I reach him, I'm gonna reach out for the door again one more time.
As you reach out the door, it hits a barrier.
Still the barrier? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll just go over to Morello.
Okay.
Did you do something, Morello?
I put my face under the water. Everything's a little bit hazy right now. It was a very weird experience.
And a bit brighter.
A lot of memories.
As you've turned around, Morello, you notice that the lights are now or all the bridges are now lit. And I will say this: as you guys were walking by, there was no fuel source in these constructions. Now there's just flame now emitting from within.
I wonder if this changed anything. I'm not quite sure. It did mess with my head a little, so I'm a little lightheaded, but maybe
plan on
it's something beneficial. Can I start walking over to the door?
You can.
Do you plan on continuing your spell?
I like how he was gonna do a spell and just said, "Actually." Boom.
Oh, can I put my hand on the door?
So as you make your way over to the door and you reach out, we're gonna go ahead and cut over to Virden and Sir Denric. So what have you two been doing?
So we can learn about Kozak.
I would have. Well, no, I wouldn't care. I would, but like, cause I feel bad and I know he died. But like, I had a goal spending time with them, especially knowing they were leaving.
Yeah.
I would have tried to get close to either the chief or the druid that went with him, talking with them to try to figure out why they were interested in the ruin.
Yeah.
What was driving them there.
All right. So they're kind of chatting as you make your way over here. Sir Denric, are you making your way over as well? Or are you doing anything else?
I'll follow him.
Okay.
But I think if I could, I'd also do at least bring the oxen over closer, just so we have that chore kind of taken care of.
Yeah, you can bring them over.
No, I won't. I'll burn a spell slot. Fucking servant will do it.
Okay. As you kind of wave your hand as the servant now at this point kind of starts to undo the fastening of all these oxen and starts to bring them over to the trees.
I got some
closer.
spells for optimization. I got some spells for flavor. Then I got some spells for meat, and those spells are unseen servant, and that's it.
Hey man, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So as you have the unseen servant doing what it's doing, so Denric, are you doing anything?
Oh.
Are you going over to the group, or are you just
Oh yeah. I'm going with Virden.
Okay, so as you go over there and you kind of take a seat, the Garmal kind of as you guys are approaching, he's like, "Oh, 1 second," as he kind of stands up and pulls over a stump as one of the Kazagoran, as you know his name, as he pulls out another stump and kind of in a piece of wood as he kind of sets it down, and you now are all kind of joining into this conversation. They're kind of eating the remnants of the last piece of large kind of piece of meat that they had, but you can see that they've thrown on a new piece, kind of now cooking it slowly. But as you join in, Garmal says, "Well, it's nice for you to join us. We were just kind of reminiscing about some of the stories that we had with the fallen clansmen." Oh, I would like to say, going back, sorry, I meant to say this as a note. Once Garmal left you guys, he grabbed the both severed sections of that Goliath that Noria did a ritual for and drugged them away over to the other portion of the camp.
Just grab an ankle, grab a fucking wrist, and just start
fucking. Yeah, pretty much. And
okay.
you don't see the body, thankfully, but you saw some of the blood.
There's a new piece of meat on the body.
Yeah, bro, it's actually the torso.
I think, seeing this new meat, I think I will say,
Don't say it.
I understand
Don't
we
say
killed the younger Remoraz over there. Is that something you guys are interested in cooking up? I mean, I know I've never had it. If it's any type of food you guys are interested in.
No, honestly, Remoraz are not very tasty. They're pretty crunchy and hardy, and there's just like no natural flavor to them. It's like eating a big cockroach. It's not very pleasant. So, yeah, and then one of the Kazagrin kind of chimes in. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, I found that out the hard way once when we were there's a group of I think two young ones, and we ended up killing them. But yeah, we tried the meat. We're curious, and let me tell you, not worth it. Definitely not worth it."
Well, I'll take your word for it, but silently in my head, I'm just like, I'm so excited to eat bug again. That sounds nice.
Yeah, you're like, bro, this shit's nice. Bro. I don't know what why are they complaining?
Taste of home. Yeah.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and cut to the campsites here for the stream. Okay. But yeah, so they're just kind of chit chatting. Is there anything you want to specifically talk about?
Yeah, I want to ask the Garmaz, and the chief. What's his name?
Garmal.
What's the pronunciation?
Garmal.
Right.
Garmal. Yeah.
Garmal. Okay. I want to ask Garmal. Like, I understand you guys are leaving in the morning. It looks like my friends are poking around over there. if you don't mind me asking, if it's all the same to you, why were you guys looking into a ruin, especially at this time of year?
Well, seeing as now we have lost many members of our clan, it doesn't seem like such a good idea. But we were these ruins have been around for some time, ever since our clan has been here, and so we were early on in the establishing of our village, we found these ruins, and we have rummaged around the contents of the exterior buildings, at the very least, but there was nothing of note within them. Something that probably were picked clean years and years ago. However, the towers, they would not provide entry, and we saw the statue on the exterior of the ruins, but we figured that the unknown language that was spoken along it, and the strange kind of inscription all over the door for it, we figured it'd be better not to mess with such powers that be. So we kind of just refrained from it for many years. However, we figured that with word and potential I guess discovery of a sorcerer of sorts that is being held up kind of towards the south, towards the Everreach. I'm sure Kozak, he informed you.
He did.
But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of two birds, one stone. We had some of the group stay here and get settled, and then we had another group go see if they can investigate over there, which obviously we saw how that turned out, and we obviously see how this turns out. And so you can see there's frustration kind of building in his voice. So foolhardy, to say the least. And I mean, we've only been here a couple days, so we just kind of got everything settled, set up shop, and now here we are.
But you weren't looking for anything in particular. You were just kind of checking it out while you were here.
Well, I mean, none of my clansmen knew, especially not my druids, saviors, like Favio nor Noria or any of the other druids. They did not know the language in which the inscriptions were. However, something that appears to be this old and managed to be held up or hold together for this long, I mean, it's bound to have artifacts of some sort. And so we figured that maybe we could, get within and pillage it for what it was worth. But I guess the greed and the prospect of getting some shiny new tools for hunting and whatnot was did not outweigh the lives of my clan.
I mean, there's no way to predict Remorads would come out from below, especially when they did. I mean,
that's true. Honestly, yeah. I was talking to Favior, and it appears that we were just discussing, even Noria, as she gestures, because both druids are kind of to his left and his right. We haven't seen something. We haven't seen a Remoraz attack, or at least a pack that large. Which, I mean, I guess if you wanted to try to, link it to the ruins, maybe. Or, I mean, my thought is that it's just such a large group making their way, probably, got the arousal of these creatures.
Did Korzak tell you much about his expedition before he passed?
Sadly, I mean, we talked briefly. He said that a group of basilisks, they were what surprised his group and the reason why he was the only to survive and what caused the damage to his arm. But
so,
go ahead.
Here's my question: do basilisks attack? Do you know them to be in groups often?
Basilisks, they're a little bit strange. They like to live where they can kind of hunker down and burrow and kind of dwell, and that's typically around mountain landscapes. You don't necessarily see them amongst the forest just because it's a little bit harder for them to actually, bury themselves and stay hidden amongst all the trees and the snowfall. It's not very beneficial to how they hunt. So
My only, just a theory. I was just thinking on it. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. But I guess just when you guys travel in the morning, if we're not joining you, depending on what my friends are doing up there, yeah, travel safe and keep an eye out. Best I could offer you there.
absolutely. No, and for as short as our time together was, I appreciate everything you've done. I mean, you've done more for our clan than any of the soft skins that dwell amongst the fortresses have ever done for us. Most of their time, it is just conflict or butting heads, and so I appreciate that.
Oh, I've never been one for staying too long in fortresses if I could help it. So probably helps.
Maybe, but seeing as we're probably gonna leave a little bit before daybreak, and I don't know what your intentions are, I figured that I would give you this. As he reaches back and he goes to unclasp his necklace that he has with the large kind of chunk of like what looks to be humanoid skull with like the bone of like what feels like of what's like fingers of sorts. As he takes it off, Sir Denrick, you're sitting kind of next to Virden as he stands up and he pauses. I find it only appropriate that I give you your group. What is your group called? Is there a name for your lot?
Well, I can't say what I was about to say.
We didn't come up
Boner
with it.
goblins.
I was just gonna say axe-offs, jack-offs.
Oh, shit.
Damn, straight off the dome.
Hey, maybe. I mean, just say what you want to say, but
Well, Virden wouldn't say that, but I would.
Yeah.
You gotta have some class. It's Jackovs
The jack-offs.
with a V. With a V.
You know, you know what? I think I'll stick with it. I'll say we call ourselves the jack-offs.
the Jackovs. Is it with a V? Jackovs?
With the V. Well, axe off. He
Jack
fired us all, and that's how we all met,
Jackovs.
and,
Oh, clever.
So Zerduner kind of looks at Veer.
Well, I would like to present
fine.
your the Jackovs. I would like to present to you a relic. Well, not so much a relic, but a token of the Grey Wolf Marauders' appreciation as he walks over to you, kind of behind the kind of the circle of individuals, and goes behind you, Sir Denrick. I'm assuming your helmet is off. That'd be kind of strange if you had it on. He kind of, in one hand, he kind of claps one of your shoulders from behind you. He says, "I find it only fitting that the individual amongst the Jackovs who slayed a Rembaraz almost single-handedly was to be bestowed upon this token." As he then kind of brings it over in front, and he goes and he just sets it as the bone's kind of hit your chest plate, and kind of the bone hitting the metal as he clasps it behind you. It's a large necklace. It looked like a little bit of a large necklace on him, for his massive size, and so it's a fairly large. It's like comes down to like way down here, but he kind of connects it and then kind of clasps both of your shoulder platings. He then walks back around. Obviously, it's sized a little bit upward, but if you find any other of my clansmen while continuing along the Frost Trail and the Dire Frost, show them that and tell them that Garmal give you his blessing. So, I think
It was an honor to fight beside the Grey Wolf Marauders.
And it was an honor for us to fight alongside the Jackovs. So, but as he sits back down, hopefully,
You made a good decision today.
As he sits back down, is my music going? It is going. He sits back down. I'm not quite sure what groups would be out at this point. You might run across one or two hunting parties, but when I get back, I think I'm gonna keep the village close, seeing as we've already lost so many this winter. So, but He kind of gestures to the necklace. Token of appreciation.
Thank you, Grandma.
And I would say at this moment, you off in the distance, you see Garmal kind of looking at you, Cedric, and then like quickly look up and kind of stand up, and Favier kind of like kind of rises on his feet. Noria kind of just perks up. Some of the other guys seeing this kind of whip around, and you see, you hear kind of off in the distance like a, and you look over, and now for some reason, the top portion of this landing next to the kind of the tower and kind of off onto the sides and just illuminating the ruined space, you see lights emitting.
Shit. 1 second, let me check the range on this.
Well, it seems that
Fireball.
something is.
No, I was gonna, and I think Veerda will like briefly consider using his ring to message and realizing that everyone's too far away anyway.
Yeah, they're pretty far.
Yeah. Well, looks like they at least
Hello,
either
please.
got some headway or there's only 2 jack-offs left.
And with that, we're gonna cut back over to Morello.
One thing I'd like to say. Are they still in that Are they still in that clearing, like just across from the arch?
Yes,
From the entrance?
they are. Yeah,
Would they be able to see that the braziers lit up?
yeah, because it's an elevated platform.
No, or yes?
Yeah, so they would have been able to see it. Yeah, they would have been able to
Like
see.
just remembering the battle map, like we're pretty much
Yeah.
I
right.
think it'd
We're not that far.
still be pretty noticeable with all that, like, just lighting up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
well,
even the light
anyway.
reflecting off stone, I think.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Anyway, back to
switch this.
Fucking Jackson.
Bro, that's amazing.
Dude.
I was trying to think.
I'm Moonlight as a bard.
I meant to bring up like an opportunity for y'all to name your group earlier, and thankfully we waited for that
Thankfully,
art.
it was
so,
up to Virden.
yeah. Thankfully, we were able to wait for that.
Y'all let
Wonderful.
the wizard talk too much. I don't know.
But as Morello, as you go and you kind of step forward and you go to touch the door, this golden door, to this tower, your hand presses against the cold metal.
Oh shit, let's go.
I push the door open.
As you go to push it, it holds sturdy.
Still locked.
I pull the door open.
As you go to pull it, it does not move.
Yeah.
He
can
pushes
I-
again and it works.
You do
Can I
see
inspect-
that there is a lock like on the like kind of the outward protruding door handle. There is a lock. There is a portion where a key would be inserted into and potentially unlock the door.
Can I try and put my hand on it again?
But yeah, you can go. You can go ahead. Yeah, so you go ahead and try to put your hand on it, and you hit the barrier.
Still the barrier?
Yeah. But I will say, as you push it, so you're pushing and you're pulling, but there's like how there's the how some of those doors there's like the handle that comes out, but there's also like that little button you have to push down to actually click it. So you've pushed it when you were touching it, and then you pulled it, but you haven't actually clicked the button. And so when you go and you go to click the button and you push it forward, it does crack open, but it does hit something as it hits something and stops.
Can I activate my rune of frost to make myself a little stronger and try and like body this door?
Are you making yourself giant, or are you just giving yourself strength, or was
I'm giving myself a +2 to strength and constitution rolls for the next 10 minutes.
okay? Yes,
Can I give him guidance?
you can give him guidance.
Cool, yeah, let me try and push this.
I like how Viren's like, "Hey, you're gonna find something out and then come back to us, right?" And Morello's like, "Yeah, let's go."
Well, also,
of
it's like
course
I
you
see
do.
all the lights turn on. Like I have no illusion of what's happening over there. They're going.
He said, "Yeah, of course you jack off."
Of course, yeah. We made a great decision today. Okay, let's see. That is a. Hello. I can do math. 17.
17. So as you kind of as your rune emits and glows, and you can feel your muscles pulse and tighten as you then kind of shoulder lean into as you and you hear like the scraping of metal behind the door, but as you hit it, it does shift open, and you hit it, you push, and you hit it, and you shoulder check it, and you eventually. The door doesn't open all the way, but it opens up enough to where you can slide yourself through. It's probably about like almost like a foot-ish or so gap in the door as you.
I'm gonna slide it.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast light, so that I can.
Well, as you slide in, go ahead and make me a dexterity. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
this guy said,
I'm just kidding.
Of course I'd come back for you. Yeah, of course I'd tell you where the treasure is.
Of course I would. I'm just seeing what's inside.
He said, of course I won't keep all the diamonds for myself. Make diamond armor.
So I will say this: as you're,
Why are you blue?
As you're, why are you blue? As you're smacking into the door, Bearden and Sir Denric, you do hear the boom, 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 and you hear a commotion occurring from the elevated portion of the ruins. Which I would say, even from this far away, you can see that they're like at the front of the tower, because it is raised
You can
up.
see them?
You can see them, yeah, at the front of the tower.
I think I'll excuse myself from the there's like, let me go make sure the rest of our group there is doing all right. I'm sure we'll be back soon.
I'll stand up.
Garmal nods.
Seems we may have made headway into the ruins.
Well, I mean,
we'll let you know when we come back with what we find in there. And if they found a way in, hopefully, if you don't mind, we could show one of you guys a way in. So maybe the next winter or so, you find yourself over here. Perhaps it's a shelter that would work for you guys.
Yes, that would be very beneficial. So yeah, by all means, we'll be here.
Thank you. But like, I'll say thank you. I'll like politely walk out. But as soon as I'm like out of like what I perceive like a social proximity, I'm running. Like, I'm running over there.
Okay. Okay. So as you're so Denver, you get up and you're like kind of saying, you know, your formalities, and then Bearden, you're walking, you're kind of behind Bearden, and he just starts sprinting over, and you're like, oh shit.
I keep walking.
Okay. Morello, as you kind of peek your head in and slip in, what are you doing here?
Merlo, how did you manage to dispel the barrier for yourself?
You know, I took my face, I put it in the pool, and here I am. So that could be what it was, but I'm not sure. I am feeling a little more in tune with being closer to my, I guess, the good side is what you would call it. But other than that, the water made me feel a little dizzy, and it seems to have let me into the building. So
as his head's just poking back out of the door, he's like,
yeah.
I'll like try like with the door open. I'm gonna like try hit the barrier a couple times, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll try that as well. Okay.
So as you make your way over to the water, as Axos kind of follows in suit, you. Well, actually, I won't do anything for you. You walk up to it, and similarly, you see the statue. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll put my fingers in it again, and then it is just feeling warm. I'll plunge my face into it.
Okay. Similar warmth, face as it then moves to your neck and your rest of your body. So it warms up. What alignment are you?
Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral.
Both of you guys?
No, he was chaotic good.
I was neutral.
Oh, you're neutral good. You're lawful neutral. As you kind of raise your head up, similar experience. You get kind of lightheaded as the water kind of as the cold air hits the water and kind of as you kind of sit there and you start self-reflecting and start to think about instances and things as to where maybe you could have been a better person. Maybe you could have done things differently. Maybe going forward you can do more good in the world. At which point you are now lawful good.
Oh.
As your alignment has now shifted.
Oh.
Connor,
that
dip your
bearded-
head in.
We don't know what's happening yet, fucker. I'm sure you're already lawful good. You don't give a shit. You're just walking in.
Oh, well. What? No, yeah. All right, yeah, and then I'll turn to Axel. Did he follow me to the?
Yeah, he followed you
or-
to it.
Are you wishing to? Try this as
I mean,
well?
if it's let's just get in. I guess. I mean, is it? Do you feel fine? Do you feel weird? What is exactly is how do you feel?
Not exactly the same, but not too much different.
Okay. What do we try? As he kind of similarly kind of puts his head into the water, waits a second, and then comes back out and kind of shakes his hair, kind of wipes his face from the water. It's kind of dripping down.
Why are we here?
I don't understand. Was something supposed to happen? It was just kind of warm water on my face. I don't.
Well, let's go try the door.
All right. So, I mean, sure. I guess we can do that. As you make your way, as you guys both then now make your way over to the door. What are you doing?
I would like to try to put my hand past the door.
Okay. So
Past the barrier.
as you put your hand past the barrier, not only so when Morello did it, you saw that you saw that his hand shifted through and there was still a rippling, and as he passed through and did his things, you could see where the barrier was rippling and like allowing him entry, but not, the barrier is still present. As you put your hand through it, the barrier kind of you see kind of it's like you almost feel like a faint kind of shattering noise. Is it?
I'll
You there.
look at my hand again.
And as you look at your hand, you hear, "Welcome, Angel Blood."
Ooh, what the fuck?
I'll recoil a little bit.
Okay, you back up. You like back in the axe up. Axel's like, "What's happening?"
Point out Danger
Morello.
on the track by Europe just started playing for me, and it's working out pretty well.
Well, at
Hell
least they
yeah.
didn't address you. At least they didn't address you by your party name.
Welcome, Jackoffs.
Welcome, Jack off. Is Morello like just inside the door?
Morello's
Morello.
in. Like he went in.
Hey, Morello. No, I'll lean inside, not quite entering.
Before,
Did
while
you-
you hold on, while you were off doing the ritual of sorts, Morello, as you step in to this interior tower space, it is honestly pretty. It's a lot to take in because normally when you see a tower of such immensity, or at least the size and the height of which it stands, usually there's multiple floors. However, the interior space is all one singular floor. And as you look up, it just keeps going and going and going up to about 50, 60 feet tall. And at the roof, at the pinnacle point, you can see kind of, not exactly in the middle, but kind of off to like the back kind of right corner, you can see the night sky. You can see snow kind of filtering or like falling from the sky, but not entering into the tower itself. And as you're looking up, and as you your eyes kind of glance down, you can see on the right and the left and the back wall, you see these massive banners, about 10, 12 feet across, about 20, 25 feet as they hang down, kind of in the mid portions of these walls, hanging down. On these banners, get to my notes. On these banners, you see the coloration of these banners is like a silvery kind of coloration, and with the trim of the banner being a gold, kind of similar to the coloration. Dude, this music needs to calm the fuck down. I'm gonna go back over here. There we go.
You can listen to the calm, soothing sounds of Europe. I'm doing right now.
As you see these silver banners with gold trim, on the middle of them, you see, the old-timey scales where they have like the baskets off to the left and the right, right? Where like you put things in one side and it tilts the scales,
like a
right?
scale.
Yeah,
Just like a regular
like a
scale.
regular ass scale, right? Well,
The old timey
Mhm.
ones, you know.
yeah, the old timey ones that are regular. You see depicted on this banner. You see at the base of this scale, you see that there's like a couple, like a multi kind of ringed, cylindrical base. As there's kind of these three different kind of raised up, kind of thin cylinders that support the center kind of pole of the scale. And as the scale goes up towards the top of it, you can see a sun kind of over, like as it juts past where the arms extend out to the left and right. You can see like a sun kind of almost shadowed with a moon as well. And then off to the left and right hand side, you see the arms extending. At the ends of the arms that go to the supporting pillar, you see that the end, the poles kind of almost enter into a gauntlet, as the gauntlet kind of is illustrated at the end of these supports. And the gauntlet itself is grasping the chains, the three chains that hold up the left hand and the right hand kind of portions of this scale. And as the chains kind of dangle down, you can see that on the left hand scale, you see what. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, because it's a little bit ways up.
That's really good. 16.
16. You see what looks to be these kind of circular etchings or designs, but then as you kind of step a couple feet forward and you look, you see that they appear to resemble what would be almost like scrolls. You see two scrolls kind of side by side, and then one scroll sitting on top. And then to the right of it, kind of all of this kind of almost in the central portion of the scale on the left-hand side, you see what looks to be like an ink container with a quill protruding out of it on the left. On the right-hand side, you see in this scale, you see a stack of what looks to be like rectangular, probably bricks of some sort, and you see that the bricks are stacked in a 3-2-1 kind of pyramid up. And as you're looking at these different banners, you can see that the scale is perfectly level, nothing weighing any more than anything else. And this image is reflected on all three banners. Now, as you kind of remove your vision from that, you see in the center of the room, protruding out from the ground, you see this 15, and you can't really tell the depth, but it's at least 15 foot wide, goes about almost 10 to 15 foot tall, large kind of enclosed, almost like structure within the tower itself. And it's made out of it looks similar to the stone outside, but it is different in construction. Go ahead and make me an insight check. Actually, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
It's the 6.
It's stone. It looks like stone, damn it. However, as you're looking at this, you see that parts of this kind of this kind of raised out of the floor structure in the middle of the tower. You can see parts of it are towards the front, facing the door. You see that there was a door, the left-hand door. There's double doors at one point, but the left-hand door, looking at it, is been blasted out, kind of hanging on by only one hinge at the bottom as it rests kind of in front. You can see the metal kind of, it's similar to in construction of the door out front. You can see the metal kind of gold door just crunched in different portions, not like super gravely like folded by any means, but definitely indented and damaged. And then the what would have been the right hand door to this interior space, you see is blocking the door that gave you such trouble kind of entering into the space. As you look down, you can see that the door is like bashed up against the wall, the front wall of the tower, and jammed up against the door, which you managed to push back.
It's the 6.
It's the 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6.
Now that I'm on the inside, could I like move it a little more so the door's not as jammed shut still?
Make an athletics check.
Oh, athletics, let's go.
This guy's an athlete.
So I make athletics with advantage with the frost rune. I
2.
got a 3 and a 4. So I got a 10.
10. I would say at this point, Zahir, you and Axov are kind of coming back, and you kind of hear the, and you hear like the scraping of metal and like the kind of the grunting of Morello from inside, as you're straining to get this. You're moving it. It's moving, but it's a struggle. And then as you walked up and you put your hand through it and the shattering kind of noise emitted, Morello, which you did hear as you kind of like turning it and you hear the, you kind of makes you stop. Nothing occurs really as you then get the door the rest of the way. It took you a little bit and you're sweating, but I would say you didn't move it all the way. You moved this so where the door could be about almost halfway open.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to be a little easier to like get inside, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. But at this point, Zahir, what are you doing?
I will yet again call out for Morello.
Yes,
Morello.
I'm in here. Are you? I just heard the
Yeah,
shattering. Did you as well?
I think I caused that. But another strange thing happened. Were you greeted when you entered the tower?
Greeted? No, it's an empty tower. There is none in here. Were you greeted when you entered the tower?
I was. And did the voice sound like welcoming, or was it like that raspy?
It sounded like a whisper. It didn't seem like super like it was creepy because obviously it was out of nowhere, but it wasn't like super raspy or anything. It was just kind of like,
Okay.
it was just like kind of like a whispering voice.
Yes, I was greeted strangely enough. Is Axov able to enter? Yeah, as I step in, does Axov enter?
Axov kind of goes and steps and he's able to enter.
Yo, whiskey and ice cream.
Well,
Got Greek yogurt, dude.
if you
So-
want to explore a little bit,
Hey, you got
yeah.
whiskey and Greek yogurt?
I don't got whiskey, dude. I'm sorry.
What
I
was
let down.
what was holding the door open again? I apologize.
No. What was holding the door back was one of the well, as you step into the space, you see
not open. Yeah.
it was one of the gold kind of metallic doors that was affixed at one point to this interior kind of large rectangular structure within the actual tower itself.
Okay.
As you guys are all kind of stepping in, having this powwow, Virden running up the steps at full fucking combat speed.
Yeah.
You make it to the top of the steps. What are you doing?
Do I see them?
You see the door half open. You see Axel kind of stepping in.
I see. I was like, hey, Aksoft, what's going on? How'd you guys get in?
Oh, what's up, Virden? Morello, he like. Well, actually, did you actually explain to us what you did, Morello? Oh, you put your face in the water, correct?
I put my face in the water.
Yeah. The
Just
weird.
put your face in
The weird kind of angel statue, over at the and he kind of gestures to where it was located off to the right. Yeah, it had some scrawling on it, and then Morello kind of shoved his head in it, and then he was able to enter, but then me and Zahir, we could not. So Zahir then put his head in it, and then I put my head in it, and then now he shrugs his shoulders. Here we are.
Do you feel any different? Like,
I don't.
What makes you feel like you want to do it?
I'm gonna walk up and like try like touch the door, at least because I've seen it.
As you say that, Morello, Axel's like, oh, it didn't do that for me. I didn't feel anything. I just felt the warmth of the water on my face. What about you, Zahir? And as Virden, you walk up and you go to mime the door. There is nothing stopping you.
Oh, strange.
I felt like the warmth washed over my whole body, and then Yeah, a similar thing too.
Give me a minute. Maybe I'll check out this fountain, but looks like there's nothing stopping us from going in. Looks like you guys did it, so I'm gonna go. I guess, around and check out that fountain. But I'll look out and see if Sir Denrick's approaching, so I can give him in.
Sir Chadrick of Rizhelm is just strutting his ass along, walking up
just
to
wearing a baby's skull and a fucking necklace.
Yeah. That is true. He is wearing the
human male skull. Or a big ass baby.
Hey, that motherfucker killed a big ass kid. But do I see him?
Yes, you see him. He's almost about halfway down the walkway at this point. Maybe getting close to the steps.
I'll just shout out to him. It's like, I'm gonna check on something outside, but they got the door open. You're free to go in. I'll be right there, and I'm gonna make my way over to where they said the fountain.
That is good news.
Do you kick the Remoraz bodies? You pass it.
Oh, I didn't even think to look the body. Well, we got time.
You were running, bro, and you saw the head was cut off, but you're
I-
like, that's weird, and you kept going.
Well,
I do look.
I
With
fully
disdain,
intend to go
with
back and
disdain,
start
though.
dissecting it.
Good to know. But in the
Yeah.
meantime,
Yeah, right now we got shit to do.
Virden, what are you doing over there at the?
This guy said, and they got snacks. Hell
I just
yeah.
want to look it over and see if I could get like an idea of like either something or like religiously what this type of situation is, like what type of like deity or entity, if it's something I'm familiar with. Being that I am apparently the only one who knows anything about religion.
He said, I am proficient in religion. Runs to where the religion check was going to be made, but hold X to interact. He said,
Not quick
Yeah.
enough.
But also like I want to know what like kind of get an
Says
idea of
regular
what we're
ass
walking into
door.
and see like what the fountain might be.
So as you make your way to you see the similar angel kind of configuration. You see the wings kind of tucked behind it. The face, nondescript details, could be male, could be female. You see the hands. You see the hands kind of dipping into the water. The robes kind of dangling down, drooping down. The hands, the kind of middle of the palms, kind of four fingers, kind of dipped into it. Expressionless. And then you see the large kind of bowl supported by the pillar underneath, and then the rectangular kind of support underneath the pillar. And then you do see the scrawling on the actual pillar itself, but you do not speak Celestial, so you do not know what it says.
No idea what it says. Okay. If there's, I don't have any like identify. I have like detect magic, but that's pretty much it. If there's like nothing else for me to really get information from to figure out what type of deity this is or what type of entity we might be encountering, then I'll call it. You know.
With not being able to read the inscribing, then you cannot gather anything particular.
I think the only thing is like seeing it. Is it? Can I tell it's a complete phrase at least, or a complete?
Yeah,
statement or whatever?
it looks like it's like three lines, kind of smaller, kind of inscription, but it looks like there's three kind of lines down in celestial kind of language. Definitely looks more than the single word Valen Vor that Zahir has interpreted for you. So yeah, it's a phrase of some sort, at least a sentence, or at least a handful of words.
I'll just have to remember to ask Zahir. I'll make a note to ask Zahir when I see him, because I'm sure he would have figured it out. But yeah, with that, I'll just make my way around and inside, and maybe make my way in with Sir Denrick.
Okay.
Depending on the timing on everything.
Yeah. So as you double back in to Denrick, you're like walking up the last couple steps. However, what are the three of you doing inside?
I'll probably just take my own look at all the tapestries and all that.
Yeah, you look up and you can see similarly. However, as you're looking up and you see all that, you do see that the snow is now starting to fall actually within the tower itself.
Oh, okay.
And
The roof's open, right?
yeah. Go ahead and make perception checks to here and Morello.
Yeah, because I was about to say what I'm going to be doing is just looking around the room, making sure that there's nothing in here. That is.
Zahir, I think you broke it.
20 total.
20 total, and then
21.
21. So you both can see that the the front portion of the door, you can see that where the door was obviously smashed out, but there's also kind of portions of the of like the kind of upper area of where the door frame would have been that was also broken out and kind of destroyed, and so it came outward. All the force or all of the whatever it was that came from this that caused this damage appeared to have come from within to out. And as you're looking around, you can see some of the stones are kind of scattered across the ground. As you look down, you can see that the flooring has a nice kind of carpeted texturing to it. And as you guys are starting to step into the space and look around, immediately as you kind of walk forward, Morello, and look in within these damaged double doors, you do see in the middle of the room. It looks like the stone, like the stone kind of jets up from the middle of the space within, kind of cutting the room almost directly in half. And as you step forward and kind of look through the stairway, you can see that off to the left that there are stairs that descend downward.
Why wouldn't they?
And you see kind of around the corner. Oh, I'm trying to visualize this. Yeah. So hold on. Yeah. So as you step in, so in the middle of the room, there's like the almost like railing of sorts, and immediately as you're kind of like pieing the doors, you can look off to the immediate left of the actual doorway area. That's where the stairs then start to descend. And there's kind of like a little bit of a landing kind of up, kind of in the portion of the room, but you assume that the stairs go directly down, and you can even see from this angle that they button hook and go back. However, at the top of the stairs, you see a figure in complete stone. You see what looks to be an entity, a humanoid. Crawling on the kind of towards the up the last couple stairs. You see a hand coming out, and you see like that other hand kind of like cresting the top of it, and then this horrified looking face as it's kind of stuck in place as you see this stone almost statue.
I'm gonna whip towards everyone. Basilisk probably in the area beyond the garden. There is a statue here of a frozen man.
Well, apart from him, I guess. This is lining up with the vision I had.
Yes. So far, so good. Also,
Probably good.
Zahir, as you're kind of looking around, you kind of like as Merle kind of looked into like the actual stairway kind of portion of this kind of center kind of structure in the room. You you started making your way kind of on the right hand side of the tower, kind of looking around, kind of looking up, seeing like what might be potentially behind this structure. And oddly enough, there's dust and there's debris and there's certain things that are apparent here from the destruction of the ceiling and maybe from this door taking damage and stuff. But you also see scattered kind of amongst this space as well. You see what looks to be black dust of sort, black powder, kind of scattered in one space off to the right hand side, about like 15 feet from the actual. From the middle kind of stairwell kind of enclosed space. And then as you take note of that, and as you walk around to the back, you see similarly another smattering of dust, of black kind of dust, or soot of some sort.
Yeah, does it seem like soot or like something that fire would create?
I would say you can make an insight check if you want. You make a nature check if you want.
Yeah, I'll make an insight check.
Okay.
10.
10. It could have been maybe fire. Could maybe be something else. That's a little bit too low for you to be able to discern anything.
Yeah. It doesn't. It seems like it was like. Does apart from like these, are there any other signs of like maybe a scuffle, a fight?
Yeah, like portions of the carpet are kind of torn up. Like, and obviously the ceiling is blasted out of sorts. It's very, and then like the entryway of the stairwell is just decimated. It looks like there might have been a scuffle for sure. Just and then you're just not entirely sure as to what might have caused it or what might have went down.
It seems like a
Could've
fight. A fight occurred in this room. I'm not sure how long ago.
I mean, with the one who is running and crawling away in fear, I'm sure whatever they fought scurried back down the staircase because there's nothing here.
Yeah, I'm not sure where else it would have gone unless it went out the roof.
I guess what do you?
I'm still in there, right? I'm on.
I would say at this point, you guys both can enter in. Yes.
Cool.
We just now entered in though.
First thing I want to do when I look inside is as I'm walking by, like I realized I had my character assume they told me, I don't remember, but did they told me there was a barrier or something, like they weren't able to touch the door or something, or did they?
You had no understanding of that. You have not actually talked to them about like what all transpired, and since seeing as you guys never touched the door before the fight occurred, and then you didn't come back over, you weren't aware.
I
of
wouldn't
it.
have even been there.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask them on their way when I go in. And it's like, I guess whoever's nearest to me.
Axe off.
Maybe it's here. Oh well, fucking.
Axoffs, Jacksoffs, baby.
Yeah, like Axoff, I have some questions and then also some news.
All right.
First off, what was keeping us from entering the building? Like, was it locked or what was going on?
It was strange. It was some sort of magical barrier of sorts that was protecting the exterior of the tower. But Morello had dunked his head in the water of sorts, and then was able to pass through. And then Zahir dunked his head in the water, and then I dunked my head in the water. But then when Zahir he touched the barrier, it seemed to almost like dissipate or shatter. And they were saying that they felt something when they dipped their heads in the water, but I didn't feel anything of significance besides the warmth of the water. But it's kind of weird.
I'm gonna start flipping through my spell book, getting like a spell, like trying to get the spell ready. I'm also gonna ask Zahir. I noticed there was some words on the statue, and I looked at it. Do you know what those words said? I'm trying to figure out what might be going on here.
Yes, they said. I believe they said, "Sanctify oneself as to perform the divine will of the golden scale."
Okay. So, Jared, if you'll allow me with those clues, then I'm also going to cast Detect Magic. Try to figure out if, like, anything in the doorway is still magical. But also, like, just Detect Magic tells me anything within 30 feet. I'm going to try to just figure out what...
roll a religion check.
Thing we might be... No problem. Efficient, but I'm certainly not advantageous. Stay inside the skull. That is a 10.
I was getting the notes, but I don't even know why I was getting the notes because you're trying to recall and recollect. But I mean, you're proficient in religion. You've heard a lot of different things. I mean, this isn't incredibly unknown knowledge, so I'll give it to you the 10, especially since you're proficient with it. Let me go and pull my notes up. Because when it comes to some of the main external forces that occupy the realms, I mean, it's for the most part relatively common knowledge to some understanding. You would know that the Golden Scale is another name for Leo Kython, which is the Archangel of Law and Order.
Okay.
Leo Kython is Leokython, also referred to as the Golden Scale, and then he's the Archangel of Law and Order.
Okay. Cool. Then, well, going through that, it's like, okay. Yeah, Leo Kython. That's the Archangel of Law and Order. I knew that. obviously. Like a cheat sheet. I'm going through my spell book, but I have like all like study notes in there too.
Yeah.
Like, does that name mean anything to anyone else here? Because I just have a passing knowledge.
Does it?
Also, if anyone asks, our group name is Axoffs Jacksoffs. We got a necklace out of it.
As Sir Denrick walks in with this massive fuck off necklace.
We got a necklace out of it. That's not quite why we got the necklace. But...
We got a necklace out of it.
He said, "That's a great name. Here's his necklace."
Yeah, I felt like that's how I felt. That's how I felt the situation. But
I would say that you have some understanding, Morello, only because you have direct influence underneath one of the archangels, and so it would not be unknown to you to know that hearing another archangel. I mean, that's like you can correlate it to what your realm of understanding is.
Okay, cool. So I don't like know a lot about him, but like
like
enough.
You know there's multiple archangels that Adonai has like bestowed obviously tremendous power over, and so you being falling underneath one of those, you hearing that you're like, okay, this must just be another realm of which another archangel must be, what's the word, bestowed to look over or maintain within the realms.
This is probably a holy site for the Archangel. Obviously, it's probably a temple or something of his, but from what I know about them, they just look over people of the area. So I'm not sure, because the Grey Wolf Marauders don't seem to have any idea of these archangels.
So they, just real quick to clarify, so they don't look over necessarily a specific like area. They look over like an aspect of life in the sense of like, so in the sense of like Law and Order, right? That is his domain of rule, in a sense, and just like how I want to say yours was Alaya, so it would be life and nature.
Kind of like Greek gods in a sense.
So
like certain cities may have like holy banners up in say like a courtroom or something like that.
To some degree, yes. It's so all these. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to give too much lore out based off just
Gotcha.
Lore dump.
Sometimes you just got to dump.
Just dump. Well, we can get into that a little bit more, maybe if it comes up. But for now, that's where we're at.
Okay. But also, I cast Detect Magic. Am I gonna go ahead?
First of all, go and make me an intelligence check. Reardon.
Yeah. Jury. Not a 1, but also not as good as it could have been. At least I'm proficient, so that's a 13.
13. I would say also, since you'd be able to discern this only because you cast Detect Magic as well, which actually, let me look at the spell real quick.
I have it pulled up.
Are you going to show it to me? Because I'm going to show myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll let you find it yourself.
Wait, you said Dispel Magic or Detect Magic?
Detect. No, I'm trying to see if there's any magic here.
I got you, hon.
I would like to dispel it all before you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you go ahead
and Wheel of Woe him.
He said no.
Wheel of Woe.
Well, thankfully there's no roll necessary for Detect Magic, dude. Go ahead and woe it.
So as you kind of cast the spell and your kind of senses of the arcane and kind of detection of those kinds of properties becomes enhanced. So you don't detect any magic. Actually, first of all, you do detect magic. However, you detect magic on Axov's eye patch on a ring, and you detect it on his dagger. And then
the iPad.
On his iPad, yeah, no, on his eye patch.
Okay. I'll make notes of that for one.
Got any games on your phone?
But then you obviously have the similar. You do actually. I don't even know if you. You might have done this, so I don't think there's been a circumstance where you've done this within your party.
I've not cast Detect Magic until now.
Okay, so then you would also, as you're walking around, you'd see that Morello's chest piece would be glowing. You would see that Zahir's cape would be glowing, and you would see Sir Denrick's sword would obviously be glowing. However, as you're looking around, Morello, are you entering into this into the actual stairwell or no?
Oh fuck no.
Okay. However, as you're walking around and you're kind of just discerning this whole space, you do notice with a 13, and because of the spell, you notice that the spell is not able to penetrate this kind of central room, kind of rectangular kind of structure, which you would then, seeing this and feeling this, you would then realize that the construction of this kind of stairwell chamber is actually made out of lead.
All right. Well, we can make a lot of fucking pencils, boys.
Isn't that like this
lead,
Never been
okay.
made out of lead.
They are now, dude.
Also, I would like to say, going back to the very beginning, I remember Morello was like, "I'm gonna cast locate object," and I never got back to you. It never came up. Like nothing ever
I
pinged.
figured
I just forgot to say something, but I meant to.
Anyway.
I meant to
I
say
figured
that.
with it not pinging, it didn't ding anything. I was like, oh, unfortunately.
So does lead dispels, or I guess deflects magic?
You don't know that.
Extra meta?
I know that.
I mean, yes, you would know that, considering that your detect magic is not being able to penetrate through the lead actual box.
How big is the box?
So I would say, since the majority of you have walked around the space, so the box is about 15 feet wide. It goes about 12 to 15 feet long, and then it doubles back to connect this kind of almost rectangle, and then it's about 10 to 12 foot tall, and it's just smack dab in the middle of this tower.
Yeah. Does it have like?
So it's
Can I perceive if
roughly
there's a roof?
coffin dimensions for a big fucking dude. Is like that's
Hey,
my biggest concern.
make your own
That's my
make your own
That's
assumptions.
Wait,
So hold on.
also like there's
So
so many
the-
things I'm concerned about right now. I'm trying to find a way to roll to mention.
Wait a sec. The coffin, the doors are broken off.
He
Don't
said
know if
he
there's
said
some,
the
right?
coffin.
The coffin. It's already a
Hold on. So the
The-
stairs are separate. The stairs are separate from the coffin.
No, the stairs are within the coffin.
And
That's
the
pretty
door is
cool.
broken off.
The doors are busted outward
of the stairs.
of this of the structure that within holds the stairs. Yes. So like as you're looking, as Morello was looking and whatnot, you saw, like, as you were looking through the threshold, you saw one of the golden kind of doors like resting on like one hinge, barely hanging on. The other one completely blew off, blocked the front door to a degree, which was then kind of shifted over. And then looking within the space, you can then see immediately to the left is stairwell going down. And then in the middle, and then in the middle of this rectangular kind of like, structure, in the middle of it, almost cutting it in half, you can see like a railing of sorts built up, which you would assume would probably be the opposite side where the stairs double back and probably descend deeper. But keep in mind, it is completely dark in here too, so y'all are just using light spells and shit. So
Yeah.
I heard
Oh,
the
I-
conversation that they had, right? And
uh,
I've seen the evidence.
That I just had just now.
No.
or-
I would.
Well, I'm standing next to you.
People are inquiring. Oh, I wouldn't say a conversation actually had in a bit. People are looking. People are observing. Now you guys need to kind of come together, and if you guys want to articulate, I mean, Morello said that there was a dude in the stairwell, but that's about the extent of
Yeah.
it.
Hey, can I see that from where I'm at?
Yeah, Morello's like, it's over there, and you can look and you can see it like a statue of a dude crawling out like up the stairs, like to the top landing.
I think seeing that, I will voice something that I was thinking about when I was with the Goliath at the fire. Because seeing that, and I was like, all right, well, boys, I have a pretty bad concern, and I don't know what else supports this, but I might as well mention it now. I don't think basilisks normally travel that often in herds. They don't really move that far out. I don't know about the giant bugs we fought. I don't think they really travel. Like, they said it was very weird to deal with them in this type of environment. they keep mentioning the sorcerer. Don't know why they're even beefing with the sorcerer, but hey, did we just unlock a crypt that a mad sorcerer who perhaps has a legion of gross burrowing creatures also wanted to get inside of? Because that's a possibility of something we just did.
That is true.
So this is what I wanted to check. I heard you mention it to them, but myself looking around, does it look like there was never snow on the ground where we're at, but now the snow is falling and sticking?
Now the snow is falling inside. There is
Fuck.
there,
Okay.
there
That's bad.
there was no snow inside, and now the snow is falling from the destroyed portion of the roof.
Okay.
So if that
Whatever
is the
barrier
case,
was
then
either protecting or containing this place, I think is shot.
That's what I was about to ask. So
we should probably. I mean, there is something in here. Obviously, Zahir had a vision.
Right.
Should we make haste and try and make sure we can stop? I mean, they brought up the sorcerer a bunch. If we stop him from getting whatever he wants from here,
Best I could think of us doing tonight is finding a strategic spot on the stairs for me to cast my 10th spell, and we'll just bunker up there and hope that's enough to keep someone else from coming down after us.
should we
Like, I
bring
don't-
the oxes over here
you-
and bunker up in the ruins for the night, or should we just leave them be?
I will say
With the
this. I
Goliaths.
will say this. The oxen will not fit through the front door.
Pretty sure.
I will
What
have
if the
heard
door
about
goes
your
all the way
vision,
up?
right, Zahir?
Yeah, I think I told the whole group about it.
Yeah, we heard about the sword and such.
Oh yeah, okay, I think I remember.
I don't. I'd like.
I don't want to go downstairs, beat to hell as we are. We already had 2 pretty rough fights today, and I think we all could use a rest.
I think so too, but I would like to make sure we have the oxes somewhere when we end up going down, because losing another, even with the sled that we are going to be getting from them, would be devastating.
What do you think, Axoff?
Honestly, I think that's. I mean, if we can't obviously, he looks to the door. We can't obviously fit them in here. I think that. I mean, I don't think that the Goliaths themselves. They might come in here. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, if the Goliaths don't want to hold up in here, then maybe we just leave them out there with them. But this is my only thing: is I don't know. Do we want to sleep in here with whatever the fuck might be dwelling within, or residing within this this space? I don't know. I mean, you do obviously have your magic that you could potentially ward, but do you feel confident in just sending these Goliaths in here?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't know. I was being sarcastic about it. I didn't think it was going to help. No, I think if we did that, we'd be screwed.
Oh,
I don't think
Then-
we should stay here tonight.
I don't
No,
think so
I think,
either. I think we should honestly move our
What if
tents and
we
we should
just-
just bunk down with the Goliaths.
I think we might want to put the door maybe back up in front of the entrance to the stairs.
Yeah, I mean we could just close the door and pile some stones in front of it.
You look at the door, and the door isn't shot off and intact. It's folded in the middle and dented and shit. And so you'd have to basically undentify this door.
The main door we
Put
just
it
opened?
in the way.
Oh, you want to put you mean take the door out block?
The
yeah, I
main
mean,
door should be.
I think we're talking about
fine.
closing the main door again.
Oh, I think you said it's the stair door. I thought, but maybe not.
But yeah, I meant just grab it and then just put it in front at the very least.
Oh, I see. Okay, but yeah. You do as you say this, you look over and you do see it's bent. You can still do whatever you want, but I'm just telling you, it is heavily damaged. But
Okay.
I mean, I think one night the ruins being left alone should be fine.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we're better off dealing with potentially something worse than we would have in the morning than dealing with whatever it is tonight. Having our asses already been kicked, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm tapped out pretty much. Well, not tapped out. I'm actually doing okay, but I'm not at full.
I'm pretty close to tapped out. The amount of magic I could produce is pretty small at this point. I basically just have enough magic for an emergency.
I have a single
I already
spell
had all my
left.
emergencies, but all my normal stuff I can do, I guess.
I mean, I don't even have any spells.
Well,
You
Same.
bled a
believe-
lot. You bled a lot. That's about the same thing.
I don't
I
even
believe we
think.
should just.
As I don't
prep
even think
this.
he did. As we look over it, he's pretty
Yeah, I think he
unscathed.
just roasted.
He just got
Yeah.
cooked. All right.
But yeah,
what is
I
the
think
game plan?
we should just
Posting like a roasted cheeser,
maybe
bro.
let's.
we should just board this up a
say
little bit and then.
board it up. Let's
Hit
spend
the
the
hay.
night back with the Goliaths. I'd say maybe tell them what happened or what's going on, what we're seeing. But I think we should sleep no matter what.
Yeah, sleep, decide what we want to do in the morning.
I have no way to put a ward or anything to keep this door more closed than a nail and a piece of wood would. So
But you said there was a key for the front door, right, Jared?
There was a keyhole. Yes.
I guess.
could we lock it? Just lock it, and then just
Yeah, I guess.
pick the lock on the
What
way
I-
in the morning.
Yeah, I would know that Axov can lockpick, would I know that?
You can ask
No,
him.
because he didn't tell me.
I mean, if
Well,
you want
he
to
said
set
he
the
said
front door,
before, but
we
he
can.
said before you guys went over there, he was like, yeah, I can bring some locks maybe. So you know.
Can you
Oh, okay.
relock it?
Yeah,
we
can
don't-
we use your lock picking skills to relock this door?
what
perhaps?
I mean, I
why
could
would
obviously
we
try,
relock
but that
the
don't.
door?
That's a little bit. That's kind of a weird
you-
thing to do.
we
But
use
I
your-
mean,
I mean, it's
Use
more
your
of just
locking, locking skills.
Locking.
Why are we relocking the door? We are close enough to that.
you are
that a
glitching
skill
out.
we can
Oh,
learn?
he's.
Yeah.
Is that a
God.
skill we can learn? Is locking? So like we can just lock doors on people so they can't get back out.
You can
Yeah,
certainly
so
try.
something- Is there an opposite spell of knock that's just Glock?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you close that.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Well, yeah. So you could be all like mischievous because, like, say someone leaves their house without their key because they know their door's unlocked. So you just go and you lock it, and then they come back later and they're locked out of their house.
Yeah, I
And they
don't
try and
think
break
we
in
need-
and they get arrested.
Yeah, it's called Arcane Lock.
All right, boys. What are we gonna be doing? Let's go and wrap this up for tonight since it's
I
starting
think
to
we
get a little
should
late.
just shut the door. We don't need to relock it. It's not going to stop anyone from going in.
We could at
we
least
Tell you
we
what,
could
we-
put some
we
rubble.
close the doors. I still have my sensor spikes. I'll set them
Mhm.
up around the building, so at least we'll know if something
Those-
comes
those
through.
Those are kind of
Yeah.
clutch though. We should at least pile some fucking rocks.
Yeah, there's plenty of rubble around to pile in
What's the
front of
point
the
of
door.
Piling the rubble, though, it's not going to
Something coming out.
We'll
Yeah,
spend
but
2
you-
hours
it's a
piling
pull.
I'll know
rubble.
if something went through. I won't know more than that.
I was going to say, it's really hard to get that door open, so if we yank it back shut, if we're assuming
Closed.
Basilisk, they can't pull the door open.
It was hard to get open because of the busted
We'll
ass
know if they
door
turn the door to
that
stone.
that was holding it closed.
That's true. I mean, we can,
Yeah,
put
sure.
it's just going to make it harder for us to get in, since it's a push door.
They turn
Well,
the door.
I get it.
I'll,
Alright.
I'll get ready for now. I think we can all sensor spikes make sense to everyone, right?
Yeah, that
That's
should
right, yeah,
suffice.
I'm putting the first one
The-
down
the
in the
door.
main hall, like in front of that staircase, kind of almost.
The main
Just so we
walkway.
know the main walkway, like from the stairway that comes up into this area. I want to put a sensor spike that covers that, so if something comes up from there, we'll know.
So, just I don't understand. So, are you saying like within the actual stone like structure, or at the base of the stairs that lead up to the upper portion?
Within the stone structure, the stairs that would for us will go down. Those stairs that go down. Oh,
Part of
Stick it in the guy's mouth.
so as you go and you try to insert it into the floor, you can't wedge it, and part of the actual spell or like the properties of the arcane or the magic item is that it needs to be submerged within the ground. So you not be able to find a foothold within, you sadly cannot put it up there.
What about if he sticks in the guy's mouth?
Yeah, what if he
I
gets
was
some
about
dirt
to say
and
we
puts
can
it there?
drag a body in here, but that's not the ground.
By the way,
Sure, but I'll put a patch around.
Zahir and
I want
Morello,
the
you
door.
see that Sir Denric has this massive fucking necklace on.
Yeah, ignoring that for now. I walk over.
Yeah.
The snow that's fallen in, I will say, I mean, you put the sensor spike in and I could freeze it to the ground.
But I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be in the ground, like as far as like a sensor. Like I think the
like,
best we could do is if we're able to
tremors,
pull like a
like-
brick up or something, and there's something to put it in there.
Can we get
I
some
think
dirt?
that would work.
Just pile some dirt and put it in it.
Awesome dirt with it. No, I think it's like a tremor thing, kind of like
Is-
blind.
Is there
sense
like
for that.
is there like a spot in the bricks or something where I could put it like in the mortar or something in there, or is that gonna be like it wouldn't really quite work in this situation?
You can try to attempt it, but when you go to actually like manipulate the bricks and the in between spaces, it doesn't manipulate it. Like you can't chip anything away. Like it's strange.
Oh wait, just stab into the head of the one dude that's a statue.
Look, I know where you can
That's
put
still
it.
stone.
That's true, but
No.
that's probably not like enchanted, non-malleable stone.
Like when you go to start chipping it away, like it would take you a while. Like for how old this structure is allegedly, it is still at least this upper portion is being held together has been held together very well for the test of
Do
time.
we just want to put one by the bottom of the stairs and one by the entryway as well, the like archway instead then.
Yeah, well, we could try that.
But,
One there, one there.
Just head back to camp, rest for the night, and come back and see what's up in the morning.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Recover our
So sensor stakes at base of stairs and then under archway, or was it inside the ruins archway or outside the ruins archway?
I can't see it. I can't visualize necessarily what that means.
So like the stairs going up, you put a sensor spike at the base of the stairs, and then when you're going down the pathway to leave the ruins itself, the archway that like indicates the entrance to the ruins, are you putting it inside the compound or are you putting it outside the compound or directly, I guess, underneath the
Inside
arch?
the compound. I want it to be as close to the what I'm now considering a tomb, because that's a lead coffin probably. And whatever's inside this well, I mean, whatever's next to the lead box.
bro.
I want to be as
Go
close to that as I
upstairs, yeah.
possibly can and reasonably can.
Okay, so you have one at the base of the stairs when it comes to going up to that raised platform, and you have one inside just past the archway, so that if anything goes in the archway, you'll get notified, and anything going up the stairs.
Yeah. The one that's at the bottom of those stairs, I want to put it on the side that's nearest to the Remoraz hole. So if something skitters
Okay,
through
sensor
that,
stake
I can kind of double that.
at right side of base. Okay.
Yeah. And then aside from that, I guess I want to put one, I guess, kind of just in the courtyard. Nah, fuck it. I'll put the other one near camp to kind of protect us at camp as best I can from one dimension.
Okay.
Just to make sure, like, you know. Yeah.
Do you want it like in this dead center of camp, or where do you want it?
Probably like partway between like the main, between the tomb and where we're at. Just
Partway. So just okay. Partway between.
Yeah.
Between camp, and ruins. Okay. All right. So as you all kind of exit the ruins, and as Virden kind of plants these stakes, kind of mentally linking with them as he plants them along the way, you guys eventually make your way back to the camp. Do you guys have a conversation with the Goliaths, or you guys just kind of? We don't have to role play that, but are y'all gonna tell them what you guys found inside, or?
Yeah,
I think we should.
We should.
At the very least, that the tower's open.
Okay.
Tell
Or
me you'll
if
nice great
you
evil
want,
upon
if you
the
want, we
world.
can end this session with you guys right before you have the conversation with.
Yeah, I like
That sounds ideal.
I feel like expediting that might not be the best idea, because I feel like that'd be some back and forth that'd probably be beneficial to everybody. So
So yeah, I wanna.
All right.
So I'll say as the last sensor stake gets put by Virden, as you guys are kind of all just kind of watching out for him as he does it in the animal collectively. Walk back over to where the kind of the roaring fires are of of where they're kind of cooking some of the meals, which kind of at this point you can see that some of the portions of the meat that was put on the fire has now been kind of cut off, and they're kind of starting to eat in and kind of dig in and whatnot. We'll go ahead and end tonight's session with you all kind of approaching and hopefully kind of giving them word as to what's going down, and maybe we can and figuring out what's going to be happening going forward with the ruins, and now that you guys have entrance or entry to the inside. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end tonight's session there.
3 sessions without a long rest.
Hey, it's not as bad as Connor's
Man,
Space,
yeah,
bro.
try.
Connor's Space D&D, 17
I
games.
was about to say 3 sessions. You're
It's
saying
not my fault every time you're like, I want to talk to somebody. Oh, his name starts with a J?
Look, man, our sessions are so dense; they're almost real time in the space.
that
They
it's
are.
minute by minute.
Last session was shopping. That was also the entire session.
Bro, I bought so many fucking guns.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm just singing a good song here. Oh, this isn't ominous and creepy still. Hold on. But yeah, let me go ahead and fit 1 second for it.
I'm about to lose you, actually. This timing's perfect. These are about dead.
Oh, hell yeah. See, I know things.
Yeah, but
Anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna end that session there. Hey, come back next week. We'll be back here on Thursdays to continue this venture. Oh, also for everybody, hey, 10th episode, double digits tonight.
Yay!
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. What I presume to be like a 4 or 5 episode mini campaign or mini arc is now turning into this 10 episode plus full fledged thing. But hey,
We're not even halfway there.
we're
We're a little bit over.
I just did the math. We're not even close to halfway there.
What do you mean? It's like 140 miles, and we're like,
We
It's
made
a-
it like 80.
165 on the other side of the frozen lake, and we still have about another 30-mile trek on the other side of the mountain.
we will do that math next time because that doesn't sound right. But hey, thank you for tagging along with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed. But yeah, we'll hope you have a good rest of your evenings, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully, for the continuation of this this venture. Be all have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh.